Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I'm your Dungeon Master, Esper. I'm eager to get back into the adventure and action and storytelling and all that good stuff. So let's run through the characters as always, and then we'll dive in.
Hi, I'm Warsor, and I play Walykos, the level 5 Paragon of the Trickster.
I am Vincent. I'm playing the level 5 Vapor Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I am Nick. I am playing the level 4 Swashbuckling Rogue, who is the only character that doesn't have a name representative of their real name. So.
And I'm Adam, and I'm playing Aygir, and he's a Hobgoblin who is a level 5 Armor Artificer or Artificer. Pronounce it however you want.
At the moment, we are in the belly of a wrecked ship with Aygir and Vapor trying to decide what, if anything, they should do with a strange, stony coffer from which came a horror that was quite perilous, and they fought and did not perish and were able to slay the thing, and its spirit went back into the box. You're in a flooded cargo hold at the bottom of this shipwreck. And the Vapor's wild magic surge has just put him into a state of great flying capability.
Alright.
So it's up to you guys. If you want, you can just leave this here and just get the hell off the ship, or you can continue to explore it, or you can do something to walk.
So, if I recall, the plan from last time was that we were going to break into the captain's cabin, which we had not seen yet, just to take a look around at what's in there.
I do have one more thing I want to do.
All right.
I want to burn 5 sorcery points to get back a level 3 spell slot.
Nice.
And I'm going to cast once more the spell magic.
Haha. Okay. All right. So you are somewhat determined to undo whatever magic is imbuing this strange coffer, which I believe Aygir determined is something that was from a distant land known as Drizmteeg. Okay, Vapor, make a charisma check. It's your spellcasting ability check.
Okay. That is an 11.
Whatever it is exactly that you're trying to do, it does not happen.
Okay. Well, then Vapor's going to head up. Fine, Aygir.
What were you doing down there?
Trying to dispel whatever magic was on that chest, and nothing worked. Though apparently I seem to be able to fly now.
Well, all's well that ends well.
So what do you want to try to do with it? You want to try to still move it or leave it?
Oh, we're taking this with us. We fought hard for it. We're not just leaving it here.
Alright.
Someone else could take it. Someone else could get into trouble. Or get rich. Worse. But we're going in here first. I'm not keen to fight that thing again if it's coming out. We're going to go and take a look in here. Maybe the captain had something that could help us.
Very well. Where was that when I needed it? Forgot the roll for the magic surge. No surge.
Okay. All right. What's your next move?
Well, Aygir is going to place both of his hands on the, his armored gauntlets that serve as an arcane focus on the lock to the captain's cabin. Is it a padlock, or is it more like an inbuilt locking of the door?
It's a keyhole in the door.
All right, then he'll stick a finger into it and cast Shatter.
All right. Metallic shrapnel explodes and clinks off of your armor, and the door quite is quite unlocked now. Yeah, and maybe a bit of
Sorry,
ringing in your
I maybe
ears.
should have said to cover your ears. You were still down there
What?
when I was. I cannot hear you. Mom. Anyway,
I hate you too.
The captain's cabin you see inside the shipwreck here is well furnished, though quite flooded, with standing water up to 4 feet at its deepest point. You see rising, or puncturing, I should say, up through the floorboards is the sharp topmost point of a rock that you saw, puncturing through the hole down in the cargo hold. So it's breaking through from below, you're battering rammed or gored up through the floorboards. You're looking around at the captain's cabin. There's a little bed nook. There's a table, chairs, a little writing area, some storage, some cabinets, a window with like the shutters shut and barred. Pretty nice. Again, quite flooded out.
is there like a chest or a dresser or any sort of container in here?
Yeah, there's some storage. So we could think of that as maybe a chest, maybe some locked cabinetry.
And does this look like a place where even more sea snakes might be living?
You don't see how they would have gotten in here.
Okay.
There's no real openings. Even where the rock smashes through, the cracks would be pretty small. So you don't imagine that. It's pretty cluttery because if you imagine the ship, got rocked pretty bad. So things have a sort of a strewn look. There are clumps and heaps of things all about.
Well, you start on the right side of the room and I'll go left.
All right, let's start searching.
Yep.
Okay, so Aygir, you walk in, and Vapor, you fly in. Well, you tell me, what is your first priority? What's the first thing you guys do?
Vapor's looking for any books that are dry.
Okay, you're looking for books, and Aygir?
Well, the very first thing is making sure that there's no sections going to collapse.
Yeah.
But
all right, so why don't the both of you
yeah.
make your choice: perception, investigation, whatever your personal style is.
I go investigation because once he's sure it's safe, he's going to start looking for something valuable or interesting or old, especially if it's old.
Oh, either which way, it's on 11.
And on investigation,
and what about Aygir?
Aygir has a 15.
Aygir, you do determine the floorboards here are quite weak and damaged from the rock, the sharp rock that is broken through from below. You don't feel secure walking here. Vapor flies along, avoiding that hazard, and is looking about for books. There are some pages strewn, floating in the water. I wouldn't call it a book. They're not bound, but if they're interesting to you, you can go take a look.
He was looking for specifically stuff that was dry still.
It all looks pretty wet. You can tell there's writing on it. Maybe the ink has washed out or bled out.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing it.
As you've floated into the room and are looking about, you're getting a whiff of I mean, it already smells bad from the moldering, mildewy scent of the flood, but you're getting a whiff of something else, something rancid and rotten. The more you get into the room, the worse it becomes.
Would Vapor know what the smell is? Because I have an idea, but I want to be sure.
Smells like decaying flesh. Smells like dead body.
Is there like a piece of wood I can pull off and then use the stick to just kind of poke my way ahead as I wade into the water? Just make sure I don't step anything that would make my boots even dirtier than they probably already are.
Okay, sure. So you grab a floating haft of a whatever broom or oar or something like that, and what are you doing exactly?
Feeling my way ahead as I wade into the flooded section, especially to see if there's anything down there that might have sunk, like money or a chest of valuable stuff.
You are feeling quite insecure about walking. You feel like the floor has so much damage that it will probably collapse once you step your weight onto it.
I see. Like the whole floor of the place, not even just the dry-ish, not flooded section.
Yeah, it's not a large cabin, so there isn't. I mean, maybe some section of it is not as bad. Maybe like if you skirt around the edges or something, but even then you feel pretty iffy that it's going to be something you could tread upon.
All right, and it's not really deep enough to swim.
The deeper part you could swim in for sure.
All right, then I'll cautiously kind of, half one-arm dog paddle out with the thing poking ahead at me.
All right, so you lie yourself down and try to swim out through the shallow flood into the deeper flood. Give me an athletics check.
No sense letting you have all the fun. I want to get involved in this. Plus, there might be something valuable down there.
Oh, you think I want to have all the fun? Well, go ahead. Do this.
Well, to the tune of a 20.
Okay, so you gracefully jet yourself out, avoiding hazards, and are swimming. Your armor and everything. You're keeping yourself from putting weight down onto the floorboards that have lost their integrity.
And there probably went all of my rolling luck for the whole session.
Well, there's only one way to find out. What do you do next?
I will continue investigating with my various methods of looking around and poking with the poking stick.
Okay, you're smelling the smell of decay as well. It's pretty gnarly. Go ahead and make your check.
All right, let's see if I roll a natural 20 twice in a row. I don't. Oh, I very much don't. In fact, I very nearly rolled a 1, but gracefully it thankfully landed on 13, so I have a 17.
17? Okay. Clumped up in the bed sheets, you can tell there's a form underneath, and it seems to be where the nasty smell is coming from.
Halfling sized?
Yes.
So, the captain. Whose name was... I should have written this down.
I've got it.
Is a friend of Maxwell. I know that much.
Fiore Oaknose.
That's it.
Fiore
Nice.
Oaknose, captain of the Tide Splitter.
I think it's safe to say we've found old Oaknose.
I agree. Let's see if we can find anything else in this place.
Are you going to lift the blanket?
There might be stuff under the water that we can't see.
True.
I'll take a look. And Vapor will sink under the water, holding his breath to take a look around.
Don't.
Vapor, you go down under the water. There is the door to a cabinet that has, a simple lock built into it. It's a keyhole that it's not visible so much above the water. Other than that, just the various personal effects and furnishings of the cabin, the heavier ones that have sunken beneath the flood.
All right. Vapor will try to open up the cabinet.
Okay. So it's definitely locked. Are you trying to break it open? Do you have some, maybe pry it or something with a strength check?
I might have something. Give me a second. I do have a thieves toolkit, so I'll try that.
Do you have a crowbar? Crowbar is the best tool in D&D.
Crowbar's pretty nice. Yeah. Are you proficient with thieves' tools?
Nope. But
Nope. Okay, so you're not quite sure what to do with those things. You might just try a strength check to pry it open.
how does Vapor? He's got a flat strength. Okay. Yeah, we'll try a strength check. 10.
All right. You strain and you strain. You're not getting it. You could retry, though you would be at risk of potentially injuring yourself.
He is going to look for something he can use as a pry leverage.
I think that's what you were doing already. Unless you can come up with something above and beyond, like the aforementioned crowbar.
He's going to pop up and look to Aygir. Aygir, you want to perhaps have a crowbar somewhere in your armor, or something to pry open this cabinet.
My armor is not made of crowbars. What do you think I am?
You have swords in them, so you have to have something else. Could have it.
Like I said, I've told you before, I don't keep it in my armor. It's right here, and he reaches into a pack on his back and pulls a crowbar out and hands it to him. What are you going to do with it? I expect it back in equal to greater condition.
All right, takes it and goes back under the water, right where the lock is.
He's going to bring it back to be coated in adamantine. All right, so you've got this nice tool now. You can retry. You have advantage, I believe is what that gives you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes? Okay.
All right, so yeah, he'll try again with advantage. Natural 20. So that's just 20 then.
So the crowbar is the right tool for the job, and you wedge it in there, and you've got the leverage, and you break open a cabinet door where you find inside roll a D100. I will tell you more.
That's a 21.
And roll it once again.
100. I have 000.
Very interesting. Okay. So there are two things that he had locked in his cabinet. One is a nice looking leather bound scroll work inlaid book. It's wet, but it does look like it was it was prepared with like oils and such.
All right,
it looks
so
quite nice.
Vapor's gonna quickly grab that and hold it up out of the water for Aygir to see.
The other thing in there is a pair of boots, of halfling-sized boots. They look like fine boots made of dyed leather and, again, inlaid with scroll work and beautiful patterns.
We'll grab the boots and pop up out of the water.
You pull out the boots. The boots as well are in really nice condition. The water does not seem to have bothered the boots.
Okay.
Those look nice.
The book's a little spotty.
there?
It might need to dry out for a while, but it looks like it
I
was.
have the mending spell. Nope, I don't have the mending.
Nothing on them looks broken, so no worry about that. Probably just a little bit of time for it to dry out.
Oh, actually, I believe that my magical tinkering allows me to do something like that. Maybe not.
Well, I do have the mending cantrip, so if need be, we could
Do you
try
have
casting.
prestidigitation?
I do.
That could, I think, immediately dry off a book.
Yeah. All right. So Vapor is going to cast prestidigitation, and a warm air of winds just starts circling and ruffling through the pages, trying it out.
So your little miniature whirlwind comes there and blows the book dry. As well, it disturbs some of those sheets, and you hear a bit of a clinking sound as though glass upon glass.
Ooh.
It's going to. Okay, so Aygir, you wouldn't happen to have a pouch that could hold the book and keep it dry, could you?
As a matter of fact, I would. If you would go and lift up that blanket over there, I can perhaps take a look at it while we're doing it, just to speed us along.
Vapor hands over the book because he
And
wants to keep it dry.
what are those boots there?
I don't know. We'll study them later, and then puts those into his bag.
It's clearly a fine pair of leathern halfling boots.
Well, there could be more to them. We don't know yet.
Yeah, there could be something more.
Yep.
You feel a little something special about those boots. Vapor.
I had a feeling because as soon as I said the 100, you stopped it. So I have an idea. So
He didn't have anything
Vapor's
else
going to
down
hit-
there, did he?
what?
Didn't have anything else down there, was there?
Not that I could see, but I did hear some glass clinking over there. Hold on to this. Put it in that waterproof bag thing or whatever you have.
Probably has just like an oil skin lying around, or strapped to something.
And then he's going to start pulling off the sheet of what we believe is the captain.
All right. You go to the sheet, and this is where things get really nasty. The smell here is overwhelming.
So
Maybe
Vapor's
using
going to take a deep
prestidigitation to
breath
blow
and just
away
hold
the
it.
stink.
So
All
Vapor's
right.
just holding his breath.
You're holding it. You peel back a couple layers of wet, sodden, sticky sheet, and as you peel it back, it also like peels off the top layer of some festering skin, and you see Captain Fiore dead, and his body is all the grays and greens and purples and bruisey and starting to puff out. This is a bloated dead halfling captain on the bed. There are a few decanters that are empty, as in their contents were imbibed. One of the containers, though, does have a non-liquid thing inside of it. There's a little rolled up piece of paper shoved inside the decanter with the stopper on the top.
Vapor will pick that up, put it in his bag to hold on to for right now, and pick up the other vials as well to pocket those because you can still use potion bottles for something.
They're definitely bigger than a potion bottle. He must have drank a large quantity of spirits.
Okay.
As Vapor's doing that, Aygir will slide a little piece of driftwood over in the water, just sort of push it in that direction, upon which he has used his magical tinkering to continuously emit my choice of an odor or a non-verbal sound. In this case, the odor will be like mint and lavender.
Okay.
Things that smell nicer than rot.
Takes the piece of driftwood that that got pushed into him, looks at it and goes, "What?"
I figured you could use that.
Oh, thank you. Sticks that right next to the body to try to cancel off the smell.
So
Alright,
this
so you
book
have found the grim demise of Captain Fiore Oaknose.
So there's nothing else obviously of note in here?
I mean, there are various like furnishings and personal effects. So if you want to grab some of that, it would have some kind of value. I'm talking things like clothing and maritime instruments and stuff. If you want, you could just put captain's effects.
See, that doesn't seem quite as interesting as sticking around in here for an extra moment just to see if there's that one last missed hiding place. Potentially, even if that gets Aygir into trouble.
Okay, so I'll make you sort of a similar offer that I've made Vapor and that I will continually offer gamers in my games. You can retry your investigation check, but should you fail, be warned, adventurer, danger lurks around every corner.
All right. Well then, let's see what I get with a 17.
Okay. A 17 is not a nasty thing to nip you on the hand and inject doomful venom. Roll a D100 of your own.
I really should be
Intrepid
in this.
Aygir.
You'd think I'd be proficient in investigation, but no, just history. That is 78.
78 is a fine roll. You find jammed up in a clump of some non-valuable accoutrement in the room a crystalline orb, such that maybe a wizard might use as a spell focus.
Well, this probably isn't as nice as, I don't know, but they might sell for a bit.
Agreed. I don't think we're going to find much else in here.
No, but maybe we should stop for a moment and look at this stuff. This book is very well made and surprisingly dry. I mean, even before you dried it out, you'd think it would just crumble.
I agree. You want to start looking at it, and I'll start working on getting that chest downstairs ready.
Just don't let out whatever's in there.
I don't
Again.
plan on opening it.
Give me those boots too. I'll see what I can do with them. I won't steal them.
Tosses the boot
I'm not some
over.
people.
Ah, yes.
All right, so Aygir has the boots and the book, and Vapor, you have the glass decanters, including the one that has the rolled up piece of paper inside.
Yeah. He's going to. You said there was some sort of like crane or lift.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a winch and pulley dumbwaiter thing that they could lift up cargo boxes.
Okay,
up
so
and
he's
down
going
out
to
of the
start
hold.
getting that stuff as best he can ready, so they can move the crate over and start hauling it out.
Okay, so you get the platform, if that's the name, lowered down, and you clear like floating boxes and mess out of the way. Clear a little path that, if you want, you can try to continue your shove of the box.
Yeah, Vapor will start trying to push the box.
Okay, so you set yourself to the stony coffer. It's slow going, but you generally make your way, scrape the thing over, and start get one corner up onto the dumbwaiter platform and the other corner, and then shove it onto it as best you can. Lifting it up is gonna be hard by yourself, but if Aygir
Yeah, well,
joins
he wants
you,
to just
then
at
that
least get it onto that platform, and then he'll pop back up to the level that Aygir's on.
Yeah, it would be much more feasible getting it hauled up there with Aygir, who is doing what during this time? You're on mute.
muted.
Yeah, I realized that the second I started talking. First, I'm just opening the book and looking in it to see if there's any, anything obvious. I assume it's written in a language that's probably not wholly unintelligible.
You crack open this magnificent tome, and it's blank. There's nothing on the pages.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, it seems like perhaps there is something at work here. Something not entirely natural, right?
With the stony coffer, of course. Yes, definitely.
But not with the book. The book seems mundane.
Well, it's a magnificent book, that's for sure. It must have some function or purpose. This is clearly no, common book of nursery rhymes.
Really should have actually taken Detect Magic as a spell. I just don't get limited spells.
Do you need Vapor back up there?
Probably.
Well, you're gonna have to wait a little bit because you might hear the muffle.
Okay, so being the tinkerer that he is, while this is going on, though, Aygir is just, out of pure curiosity, going to hopefully not kill himself and make a fatal mistake here.
Let's hope not.
He's just going to see, just because he's curious, how much of his big hobgoblin foot will fit in a little halfling boot. Just
all right. So you
like
take
when you're a
off
kid trying on your parents' shoes, but sort of
you
in
take
reverse.
off your armored boot, and you've got your foot, and well, it definitely does not fit. It's much, much smaller than your foot. You get a couple toes in the top of it, maybe? They're pretty nice boots. They're made to go up, at least for a halfling, up, up the calf. Definitely, you could imagine a fanciful and dashing captain of a halfling ship wearing these boots. They're quite well made, and they seem in great condition. The water does not seem to have compromised them.
Did anything happen when I did that?
Nothing perceptible. Nothing that you noticed.
Or did I notice anything about them, like any symbols on them or particular decorative motifs?
Well, there are definitely the decorative motifs all over. They've got this nice scroll work embossed into them. Now that you look at it real close, there are some things on there that, just as best you can tell, appear to be runes.
What kind of runes?
You might know, you might not know. Make a intelligence arcana check.
All right, I do speak, for what it's worth, Elvish, Goblin, and Sylvan.
Okay, so these are not runes of a common sort, but rather arcane.
You said Arcana, right? I have a 19 on that.
Nice.
I'm not proficient with a lot of intelligence skills, but my intelligence is good.
There are runes of speed and of leaping and bounding upon these boots. Yes, indeed, you are familiar with what this type of item is. Whosoever is attuned to these boots and wearing them will have an increase of 10 feet to your walking speed, and your jumping distance will be doubled. They are striding and springing boots. I mean, the real striding and springing boots. And another wondrous little detail about them, since they are magical, once you have attuned to them personally, they will resize to fit you.
What do you mean real boots are striding and springing? What are the fake ones?
The one that's in the 5th edition Dungeon Master's Guide.
Oh, I see.
I would just like to clarify that you all might want to leave those boots back. Boots of magic have not boded well for this party.
No, that was the last campaign and the other party. This one, we haven't figured out what item it is yet.
Those were magic evil boots.
So I imagine by this time, Vapor's head has popped out of the water. Aygir, it's on the dumbbell lift thing. Give me a hand pulling it up.
All right, yes, you ready?
Yeah, and Vapor will go over and get himself where he can pretty much leverage his flying body into a way that he can pull on the ropes.
Okay, so each of you take a rope, take a side, and you crank on the pulley, and it's definitely you have to put some elbow grease into it, but you get the hefty old coffer lifted up and onto the...
Do you know any shanties, Vapor?
I do not. Do you?
My people ride Xenas. We don't sail ships.
And you think mine do? We spend most of our times out in the vents.
But you are of wherever it is your folk come from.
We're half-breed bastards.
Right, yes. One of those halves is not from here, right?
They're all from here, for the most part.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. They either grew up here or prayed to here.
All right, what's next, guys?
Well, we need to figure out how to get it off the ship.
Yeah, that'd be the next step.
But we were able to before.
If you are interested in getting the box off the ship, I don't want to bog down into the minutiae of that. I'd say you'll get it figured out. I'm more interested in is that what you want to do? Do you think that's a good idea? Are you doing anything else with the blank book, with the piece of paper in the bottle?
Right now, at least with the bottle, Vapor wants to get off the ship before he looks at it. And
Okay.
then I'm not sure what Aygir's feeling with the book.
Aygir will have put the book. I mean, because he didn't tell anything about it immediately like he did with the boosted striding and springing, so he'll just put it in his oil skin to keep it dry, and figure they'll look at it back on the ship.
Okay. So
back on the other ship.
Those are the main decisions that I think are of import. You all get the heavy coffer onto your rowboat. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but whatever. You're creative individuals with items and powers and such. So you row yourself back over to the walking squid. It's the walking squid, right? Striding squid?
Walking squid. Although it could be striding squid.
Walking squid. Captain Tiny Thomas. Oh, down there. Any sign of Theory? Anyone?
If Vapor doesn't answer immediately...
no, Vapor has an answer. I just want to make sure how I was going to say it.
Aygir looks
you really want to know?
Is it that bad?
It's that bad in war.
Aygir just shakes his head.
Oh, Theory, you were a good man, a great captain. Oh, someone hand me my pip. And they already just starting to go into mourning over the dear loss of Captain Theory. And they throw down the ropes to lift up the rowboat. Oh, he says between draws of dream. What's that you got there? Some kind of a treasure box?
We're not sure what it is, but whatever it is,
something
the only thing that's still intact.
Well, perhaps he's got something in there that we could give to his family, something to help them after his loss.
How secure is your hold?
Well, it's secure enough. Why do you ask?
Do you have a cage or a very large strong box?
A cage? No, don't have a cage. A strong box? How large are we talking about?
Something enough to hold this.
What?
You want to keep it secure. It's not the safest thing to be dealing with.
What do you mean? What do you intend to bring aboard my ship?
Well, if we knew that, we would be telling you. We would know. We don't know.
By this point, a number of the other crewmen are like looking over the bulwark down at you all and the ship, and they're starting to murmur amongst themselves at this strange looking stony box. Well, I suppose if this was precious to Captain Theory, it would be precious to us too. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll secure it down with some chains. And they all are, like giving each other embraces and like putting their foreheads together and, weeping. And they're passing around pipes of dream, which is a mild, what do you call the relaxing
sedative?
Yeah.
So halflings.
It's not like as strong as opium, but it's a calming effect on the person.
So halflings are basically, in MIRRORMOURN, basically the furthest thing you can get from Klingons, who look into the eyes of the deceased and then,
So they haul up the rowboat and they heft the coffer down into the hold, and they secure it up with chains. When you go look at it, Aygir and Vapor, they've got it chained lengthwise, like latitudinally, so like it's not going to go like sliding across the floor. But they haven't chained it up, vertically speaking, so the lid can still be opened. And Captain Tiny Thomas says with the mellowy sense of dream on his breath. There's nothing in there. It's an empty box. There's a lot of trouble for nothing.
It's empty. What?
I don't have the most answers for you, but I can tell you it's not an empty box.
I looked in there with my own eyes. It's empty.
Could he actually open it? It was
All you
locked.
have to do is just pull the lid off. It's like an old thing. This looks like it predates lock mechanism technology.
You need to show me this. I am not
Look
so
for
sure.
yourself. It's right there.
And it's open. The lid's off.
The lid's on.
Okay. Well,
Vapor will walk over and pull the lid off.
Aygir will happily let Vapor do it, so he himself is not touching it.
You take off the lid. There is an empty rectangular space on the inside.
Vapor is going to move his hand through that empty space, see if he hits anything.
You pass your hand through. Smart thinking, clever even, but you feel nothing.
Then he's going to place his hand on the bottom of it and look to see how far in his arm sinks into the chest, from where the lid is to where the floor is, and then look outside to see how deep it possibly could be.
It's normal. Yeah, it's nothing seems off or strange about it. For all intents and purposes, it's just a strange old box.
And the dimensions inside match the dimensions outside.
Mm-hmm.
Aygir, have we just brought back an empty box?
Well, now, and Aygir will take I don't know, what's a small, relatively expendable object on a ship? Maybe a single nail?
Vapor's got a few empty glass bottles. He'll put one in, close the lid. Oh, we did detect magic on it.
You put an empty... Yeah, you did detect magic on it after the battle with the horror, and you detected a strong aura of abjuration.
Right.
So you put this empty glass decanter in there. Captain Tiny says, "Oh, look at that. A dwarven drink. Well, I guess in a time like this, I would have some if only there were a drop left to help dull me pain."
Vapor's going to close the lid.
You set the bottle in there, you close the lid. What is this? Some kind of magic trick? What are you doing?
Well, in a few moments we'll know. Vapor, the lid.
Hold on. And Vapor's going to pull out the other bottle that had the scroll in it and toss it to Aygir.
What is
Check
this?
that out. And then we'll open the lid, see if something's changed.
Nothing has changed when you open the lid. Aygir, you unfurl the one page of paper, and there is writing hastily. Well, no, there's like two entries, let's call them that. The first one's not hasty. The second one is terribly scribbled. The first one is a simple and straightforward entry that seems to be a page from a larger text. And it perhaps is written by Captain Fiore. Seems to be written by someone who is taking stock of things. And he says that, they, successfully were able to barter good deals for their trade goods in Barnacle and to acquire the grain foodstuffs to bring back to the flotilla that is much needed. And as well, he met with a strange man who was a merchant, what came upon a fire galleon, who bore mystical wonders from the world abroad. And this kindled within Captain Fiore Oaknose his childhood dream, or his dream since childhood, of being a magician. And he purchased what would become his spell book and his orb and a wondrous box from which the magician on the fire galleon said he could draw forth all manner of critters, smokes, and wondrous effects to dazzle and entertain, and in private study come upon arcane powers and esoteric secrets of the ways of spellcraft. The second entry is written in greatly scribbled, messy handwriting, and there are even like drops of your thinking dwarven drink. Usually, it's only dwarves that will drink this stuff. It's by and large, smoking is the fashion of society in Haven Isle and in Terra Morgana, like the main land, we might call it that, where the elves originally come from. And even a little whiff. Indeed, that was some strong spirits. And he's raving and ranting like a madman of the thing in the box, and they opened it up, and this horror slithered out of it and was crushing his men in its coils and swallowing them and eating them. And he's locked himself like a coward in his room, staggering about the rim of the pit of insanity, drinking himself into a stupor, and then his handwriting becomes illegible.
Out of curiosity, for the audience's sake, do you still have that picture there, the sketch you made last time? The surprisingly detailed and really excellent sketch for having been done in like 5 minutes.
Oh, well, you do me too much justice. It's a simple thing, really, but just to give an idea of...
That is presumably what they were referring to. That's also the thing that we fought and slew last time. And by we, I mean Aygir, or Vapor and Aygir.
The thing in the box.
Well, was it really just the one thing in there? No, it's still magical. Unless it's just a very well warded box. Could it be protected against things coming out?
I'm not getting in there if that's what you're asking me to do.
I'm not asking you to do that.
Well, then don't even try to tell me to do it.
But I'm not. I'm not asking you to do it. I mean, you could, but I'm not asking you to do it. No, of course not. I mean,
maybe we can get Adriel to do it.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so it appears that this blank book is a spell book that just doesn't have any entries in it yet.
So it is actually blank.
Yeah, but it's prepared. As best you can tell, it is. So it's prepared and ready to go. So I say we end this scene with, the walking squids sailing off into the sunset, heading towards Barnacle.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, or not actually, it's kind of a little it's a little bit ahead, like later that night or maybe the next night. Adriel and Walykos and young Peter?
Yeah, it was Peter.
Young Peter,
Yep.
a halfling lad of, about maybe 15 years of age at the most. Though he seems
Who may or may not
shot with the sling. You all are rowing away in the night. The fry peel turned out disastrously, and the 3 halfling thieves, including the kind of gang leader and this like expert who was supposed to have been instrumental in getting into the tower of Mon Mothma. They all fell to their dooms one at a time, trying to flee from the
they were really bad thieves.
I'm just
they
appalled.
were particularly unlucky because halflings are lucky.
Well,
but maybe it's because they were sailing and rowing about with non-halflings.
Oh yeah, blame it on the non-halflings. That's such a halfling thing to do.
So the 3 of you two and Peter are like rowing off, with the cliffs near the tether ever farther growing small in the distance.
This has been
making your escape.
This has been a terrible endeavor. We nearly lost our lives and have nothing to show for it. Not even the bodies of your companions.
Yes, they seem to fall one after the other as they were trying to escape. Perhaps this was not the best job for us to do, Walykos.
Was this job even possible from the get-go, or were you all just trying to make a name for yourselves?
Using our skills to perhaps accomplish something you cannot do yourselves.
We bit off more than we could chew, that's for sure. Let's just hope that we make it back to the flotilla with our lives.
Quick thing, Esper, are we like out of the area at the moment from like the are we being chased? Yeah, are we good? I forgot what they're called.
The tether?
The tether. Yeah. Are we really far away from the tether now? Like, are we like away from potential prying eyes?
If you look back, you can still, make it out a little bit, by moon and starlight, but it's a pretty good distance away. You haven't noticed any ships following you.
Yeah,
the tether's not a port. It's like up high on these cliffs.
Yeah, and just to confirm, this ship can be sailed by 2 people, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. When he says, I hope that we can get back to the flotilla with our lives, I'm assuming he's maybe rowing or something. I'm going to quietly pull out a short sword and say, yes, out with our lives, but not yours. And then attack.
Oh my. What do you do? Are you stabbing him? Are you cutting?
Yeah, I'm just like I imagine if I don't know if I would need to roll. If I don't need to roll, like if it's just role play, I imagine I just go behind his neck and just slice his throat. But if it is an attack, then it'd be like a stab or something. Yeah.
I don't see how he could have much of a hope, but let's at least give it one roll. Make a stealth check.
Sounds good.
It seems like you were wanting to by surprise catch him.
Exactly.
Right?
And I feel like I'd be standing in front, just kind of talking to him, distracting him.
Oh, would I get maybe advantage on my stealth check?
Roll normally, but I'll give him disadvantage on his perception due to Walykos' distraction.
Yeah, I'm not reaching for my weapons or anything. I just notice what he's doing and I don't stop him.
Yeah, I got a 20.
Your blade slices deeply through the throat of Peter. No! And he is shuddering and gushing from his neck.
I imagine I just kind of stand over him and just kind of wipe the blade in front of him and just watch him die.
He bleeds out at your feet there on the small sailing ship.
I will sheath
Walykos, you watch Peter pathetically die with fear and shock in his eyes until he stops shuddering and his eyes are just, with the death stare and the bit of moonlight glinting off of them. And
you could have waited.
Racking pain takes over you, Walykos.
I guess I'll
agony rip into you and clutch you.
Before Adriel notices, before Adriel notices that, as he's wiping his blade, he'd be like, well, we might not got a reward, Walykos, but at least we've got a ship. And then I sheath it, and then I see Walykos tumble over. I say, Walykos, and then immediately go over and help Walykos in any way I can.
Yeah, is just curled up. I imagine just his muscles are just rigid and trying to hold himself, in as tight a ball as he can, because that's what you do when you're an injured animal.
Do I have do we have any grove sheen between us, Esper? I don't remember.
Yeah, I got grove sheen on my sheet.
Okay, yeah, I would look around Walykos and maybe find his grove sheen, pull it out, get his pipe and start packing it in as quickly as I can without trying to spill it since we're on a boat, and then say, "Don't worry, Walykos, give me a second. I need to get this grove sheen ready for you." And then sort of just maneuvering it, get it ready, get a light for him, and sort of essentially putting my body over him and kind of almost not shoving it in his mouth, but kind of helping him get it in his mouth so he can get some pain relief.
Okay. Walykos?
Walykos is probably just in a lot of pain, I imagine, and when you're in that much pain, you just do whatever you can to try and make it stop. So if the pipe is provided, he'll pull deeply, from the pipe
Yeah.
as much as he can.
Yeah, I'll hold it for him and light it for him and let him smoke
Okay.
as much as he needs.
You draw as deeply as you can, despite the racking waves of torment. And as the bowl of the fungal herb, glows with the flame, it illuminates part of the dead, murdered Peter there on the ship. And I don't know, maybe you try not to look at that or try not to think about it. It's all too much, really. And you breathe it in, and that first hit, it goes into you, and it's actually worse than the first hit. You kind of like have a little cough, and that triggers like the spasms of pain. And then it starts to get better from there. This like washing effect, as though like waves of sea start to flow through you, and you take another draw and another, and after some minutes, it takes the pain away.
But I'm still is my body still like in pain? I just don't feel it. Like, is the spasms going on still? The physical.
It calms it down.
Okay.
Yeah, it calms down the contractions and the spasms, the pain, all of the torments. They calm, and you take several draws of this, which actually gets you into a semi-trance-like state. It has what we would call hallucinatory properties. You all might call it, visions or mind clouds or something of that effect. And you see a vision.
Having the visions
from the pale moon light, the large female.
Oh, if he's about to see a vision, I almost imagine like Adriel's like talking with him, and then the voice like kind of like fades out as he like has his vision.
I'm just staring up at the moon. Like, just imagine them on my back on the ship, just like staring upward, probably just puffing here and there. But he's just like,
out of the pale moon, you see a descending avian figure. Now, birds are a common creature for you and Adriel.
We are the birds.
This gives you a familiar sense, something you probably feel good about seeing a bird. And it's a raven. Now, the ravens of MIRRORMOURN are all white, all snowy colored birds. And you see from the raven this like little little rays of light coming off of it, this pale lunar light coming off of it. And you hear a voice, perhaps on the sea breeze or perhaps in your mind, is the voice of Corgain Makel, which says to you, "Follow the white raven."
And I try to like ask a question, but it's just kind of like, I think I'm saying it, but my mouth just moves and nothing comes out.
Yeah, you're still overcoming the grips of the spell that you were in. Plus, you're entranced by the Grove Sheen, the really potent, pure Grove Sheen from the
which is what is needed to just even handle the pain level that Walykos is getting.
I just imagine like follow the white raven. Walykos responds, "Nevermore." But no, Adriel.
Maybe Evermore.
Evermore, yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
I think Evermore.
Evermore might be better. Yeah. Well, Adriel will be sure to console Walykos and say, "Walykos, saw you feeling better at all? Seemed a bit of a sudden what's the word? Sudden encroachment of pain."
It's getting worse. The spasms, can't control them anymore. Just happening.
We've got to find a way of dealing with this. Perhaps when we get back and meet up with Aygir and Vapor, we can.
Gain knows Gotta find Corgain.
Corgain, yes. I think that
we're a White Raven.
White Raven, and Adriel will like actually look up, like kind of like looking around, like I don't see a White Raven. Walykos, and like he's trying to like make sure that he's not like actually like dying here.
It's not so loud. Just get us home. Take us home, Adriel.
I will. You rest. I could row us the rest of the way here. And Adriel will pull out a water skin and hand it to Walykos and kind of help him drink some. You need to stay hydrated, my friend. Rest. You have your grove sheen. We have a night. You sleep. I will get us back. And with that, Adriel will leave Walykos with the grove sheen, with the water skin. And I guess he will go over to dispose of the body that is still laying there.
You take hold of the corpse of Peter, which is still warm.
Yeah,
body.
I was gonna search it. Yeah, can I search the body and check if he's got any valuable stuff on him?
Before you do, I have a source. It seemed to be the shock from the foul act you committed, Adriel, that triggered his paroxysms of torment.
Did Adriel does Adriel
do you observe this? I'm curious if Adriel cares at all about that.
So would Adriel have known? Does he know that it was his fault, like that him killing, or was it just like a coincidence?
What's your wisdom? Adriel?
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, let me check.
How aware are you of what's going on around you?
Yeah, my wisdom is 10, so it's not super high.
Make an insight check, Adriel.
Yeah, I have an idea as well. Once I do that,
We'll see if you are daft.
I got a 7, but here's my view actually, if you don't mind. I almost imagine that maybe Adriel did notice that, right? But he's just like putting it up to coincidence. Like, oh, it wasn't me. It was just coincidence, Like it was just coincidence that this happened,
He's rationalizing things.
Yeah, I'm rationalizing.
Thinking back, every other time I've had an incident, it's right after Adriel's been a dick to someone.
I know.
Done something horrible.
I know. I think like Adriel is sort of like he probably might know that it might be, but he doesn't want it to be the case. He wants to rationalize it. He's lying to himself essentially.
Flashes through his mind of like antagonizing halflings, or of holding a sword to the throat of Jelly Belly the Goblin Girl, or like stealing some kid's lunch money when you were both, younger versions of yourselves, and in all of them, Walykos was just like.
Yeah, I think though that if this continues, though, it will start becoming more like Adriel might stop lying to himself, or if Walykos mentions it to him or something. But I think right now he's just sort of wanting to live in the lie because he doesn't want to change right now. He wants to stay like he doesn't care. He cares about Walykos, but he doesn't want to admit to himself that it may be his actions that are causing these things with Walykos, if that makes sense.
Sure. All right. So we end yet another scene with a ship going off into the horizon, but this time it's just Adriel manning this little halfling sailboat by himself.
Did I get anything from the halfling, by the way?
Oh, my. Peter has a sling. He has a little sack of sling stones. He has a couple copper coins. And he has a little piece of paper in which he's drawn like a drawing. It's not a talented drawing, mind you, of a halfling girl, and he's written her name and some hearts by it.
Oh my god. Okay, as a player, I feel so freaking... Oh my god.
I was going to say, would that be better or worse than like the drawing of 4 stick people, mommy, daddy, me, brother?
I feel so bad. Oh no.
Oh
okay, well, I'm gonna go with what Adriel's gonna do. Adriel. Oh man. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Adriel, he's sort of like rummaging through this halfling's body. He gets the copper coin. He puts it in his bag. He gets the sling. He puts that in his bag too. And then he like pulls out this this image of the girl.
Yeah,
kinda
it's just like just think of
Yeah.
like a charcoal pencil drawing of someone who's like, they have a little bit of skill, but they're really not that great. And it's got this halfling girl's face, and the proportions aren't quite right, and it says like Camberly, my true love, and some hearts and stuff.
Yeah, I guess like he would look at it, and then he would rip it in half, crumple it up, throw it into the water, and then look at the halfling body and say, well, apparently she picked a bad thief. Perhaps next time she'll find someone who won't die on the ocean by himself. And then he'll throw the corpse into the water.
All right, you throw it down, and you send the body to Risa Kraba, the great giant crab god who supposedly lives in these waters, and pincered off that bit of land that made the strait that nowadays the tether crosses over.
Well, if we know anything, it's the brutal, evil people who live the longest and never get theirs in the end.
After doing that, Adriel will go over back to Walykos, just checking on him before he starts rowing, and sort of say, I checked the body. Fortunately, he basically was a poor sap, didn't have much, had a sling and a few copper pieces. I disposed of him. He's
had
sleeping with the fishes.
He would have talked about what happened. He would not have kept his quiet.
I agree. It would have been very bad for us, and at least we do have his ship that could come in handy in the future.
Gotta get rid of the ship when they could be traced back. There are others, maybe family of theirs, could find us. We'll,
perhaps we can sell the ship on the market.
Yeah, just send it into the barnacle. We'll get off before then.
Agreed. Well, Walykos, please be sure to rest. We don't have to worry about him anymore. And then Adriel
will be fine in the morning. I need a long rest.
And Adriel will, when he walks away, with Walykos mentioning friends and family finding him, he actually is going to make a note in his mind of the image that he saw of that girl to make sure he remembers the face. Okay.
Yeah, you saw the face, imperfections of the drawing skill, though it has, and the name Camberly. So I know.
Let me write that down. Camberly, right. How do you spell that?
Kamberlie.
Camberly, halfling girlfriend. Good to know. Just you never know. Maybe.
You kill the guy and then you're gonna steal his girl?
No, I might kill the girl. I don't want her to come after us.
Wow. You were just...
does Adriel have any skill with waterborne vessels?
Oh, actually...
We've never heard of such a thing, but maybe...
Okay, so let me find it. One moment. I have it somewhere. Where is this at? Oh, wait, was it on? I thought it was on this character. Yeah, I have this. Hold on. Yeah, so I have this thing where it's called intuitive motion with my variant human mark of the passage. So when I make a dexterity acrobatics check on any ability to operate or maintain, it says a land vehicle, D4. Okay. But I don't know, like maybe that would help at all. It says specifically land vehicle, but I am mark of the passage, but other than that, no, I do not have anything.
All right, so here you are with this. You've been calling it a ship. That's quite generous. It's a small halfling sailboat. Make just a wisdom check. Just unproficient, untrained thing.
It's a dinghy.
Yep. Okay. Come on. I got a 5.
Oh my goodness. So
this is how we die, Adriel.
You arrive in Barnacle like 2 days later. It took you so long to get there, and you're exhausted.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
exhausted.
imagine
You have multiple levels of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And Walykos, you're recovering. You're probably doing all right. You know, the worst of the torments are over.
If it matters at all for any more, like Adriel would have not let Walykos help. He would have like done it all by himself. Like he wanted Walykos to rest. Like, so he would have like done everything if possible.
So you sloppily, smack your way into a dock there at Havenport, and moor the ship, and your whole body is drenched in sweat, aching, cramping. You're dizzy. You just feel awful. You thoroughly exhausted yourself in your haphazard and just completely amateurish navigation, and really it required you to do extensive amounts of rowing and recovering all your drifts and stuff. You are met by one of the port inspectors. There are a few different port inspectors here at Haven's Port. You're met by one Markin Oxivi. I'll put the name here if it's of interest to anybody. Markin Oxivi, Port Inspector. Largely the Merocrats group run the administration of Haven's Port. So you would loosely associate him with them. He's a middle-aged elven fellow, wears official garb, has his hair in these these ringlet type fashion, and he has a couple of dock workers with him. This looks disastrous.
Yes, I'm not much of a.
Did you see the storm from several nights ago?
I heard of a storm south of here, yes, though it didn't come this way, luckily. Do you have manifest?
No manifest. We got off a ship. The smaller
Goods to declare?
No, nothing. Just
nothing.
Ourselves. We're just coming home. We're
we
from
live
Barnacle.
here.
We're citizens.
Yeah, we live here. I'm of House
Quite a junker
Mantevel.
quite a junker that you've got here. You
As I
mind if
said,
we have a quick look?
Can it wait? Is this needed right now? I'm exhausted from days.
Yes, we are of House Mantevel, my friend. We simply want to rest, please. And I'll show like my signet.
He takes a look at that, and he does like a little bit of a frown thing. As you know, there are bad tensions between Merocrats and Drakestone at the moment. And
I watch him carefully to make sure he's not going to try.
He says, "This won't take long. Just a minute if you'll just stay there." And he sends the two dock workers to go. Well, I mean, if you want to do something to try to stop them, you can. But he's telling them to, just go double check that there's not cargo or goods that you're trying to smuggle into the city.
I mean, we're just two people on the ship. This is not even a boat. This is calling it a boat is generous.
Yeah,
Are you voicing this to Markin?
Do what you will. Come.
It seems like such a waste of time. But yeah, I'll go with Walykos.
And I start walking past him unless he's going to stop us.
Just wait. This will just take a moment.
Adriel, wait. With the boat, we're going.
Yeah, when he says that, Adriel will give him this stare, trying to intimidate him, and then he'll say, "Just let us through, man. We've had a long journey and we want to rest."
Listen, young Drakestone, you are far from your towers. I have authority here at the docks, and I need to make sure that you're not bringing anything illicit into the city. If you're going to insist on being defiant, we're gonna have to do this the hard way.
I'm gonna put my hand on him and kind of
two guys.
Yeah.
Well, you have arrived late at night, so you can see there's some other people working the dock, and there's a dock house. There's some lamps here and there. There must be soldiers nearby,
Okay, yeah.
but there's
I'm
not
gonna-
a large amount of people. It's the port late at night.
I'm gonna like put my hand on his chest and sort of like look him dead in the eye and say, "Do you really want to get on the bad side of my family? I don't care if you're a god or not. We have much more say in this city than a peasant like you. Now let us through."
Make an intimidation check.
Not
Yay.
to interrupt too hard there.
Disadvantage.
Oh, with
What, did you
disadvantage?
say-
Oh no.
You are highly exhausted.
That's
Not to
fair.
interrupt too hard
That's
there.
fair.
Did you say
Yeah.
Drakestone? Did the
Oh,
guard say Drakestone?
I meant to say Mantiville if I said.
I know. Did the guard call him Drakestone?
Well, Manta Vale would be beholden to Drakestone.
because I feel like
Oh, that-
Drakestone would be a whole
that's,
lot more intimidating than Mandevale to say you're
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of.
Yeah, that's a that's a not a. 1 second, let me check something real fast. I want to make sure. I don't think I have anything to add. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, with the disadvantage, I got a 4. I had a 13, but the disadvantage gives me a 4.
Look! Look! He shouts for someone down there at the end of the dock. I don't
Listen.
know who you think you are that you can bully me about like that.
Is he
Caterwauling scamp.
Is he next to the edge of the pier?
Fairly close.
Can I punch him and knock him in the water?
Make an athletics
It's
check.
this would be a shove action, just to be clear,
Yeah.
not an actual attempt to do hit point damage.
So that would
Sure,
be
make
it's
an
like a
athletic
But
grapple.
check.
thematically, it is a punch.
Yeah, I like it.
Um,
Come on, Walykos.
22.
Yes.
All right. So you catch him off guard and bull rush him off the side of the pier.
It's more like just a punch. I'm so aggravated right now. I like hit him, and he probably like stumbles back 5 feet and goes over the edge. Yeah, I'm just like, get out of our way, you buffoon.
The two dock hands, they've already like got like a foot onto the sailboat, and they look
Continue
like
what you're
shocked.
doing. It's fine. Yeah,
They look shocked, and they keep their distance from you all.
and
At the end of the dock, there's a couple of
it happened so
guardsmen or
quick, like
soldiers.
they probably don't even know what happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
but tell us what happens, Esper. I apologize for cutting you.
At the far end of the dock,
Yeah.
The land port side of it, there are a couple of like dock guards, soldiers, and they look your direction, and they actually start hastening.
No, I just kind of give them a wave, and then we start walking off the dock like we're headed
Mhm.
into the city. Like
Yep,
everything's
and
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
there,
and I-
out there!
most of them
What
would
is
have
this? And Markin is floundering in the water and like grabbing onto a dock ship. Seize them! They've accosted me!
Oh, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna say, friends, that there's nothing wrong here. He happened to fall into the water. I don't know what happened. He tripped over himself as he was letting us pass.
Desperados of Mantivale! And he's like trying to get up onto.
As you can see, he's struggling to
Onto
even
the
get back up onto the dock
I
right
continue walking as far as I can before they physically
now. Yeah,
block.
I will also do the same and continue walking.
And
forward.
if they don't physically like block us, I will just walk around them and keep going into the city.
I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm explaining what I just explained, but yeah, I'm
If we
doing
can
the same
we
thing.
can get to the alleyways, I figure we can lose them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if we can get off the piers, off the docks, Esper.
All right, so both of you make acrobatics checks.
Sounds
I have disadvantage, right?
You have disadvantage on all your abilities.
I
checks.
know, I know. Don't remind me. Okay, this one's not too bad. It's a 12. Man, that disadvantage hurts.
Acrobatics, you said?
Yeah.
I have a 27.
All right.
I got a 25, but
Walykos eludes the two dock guards. Adriel does not, and they
Can
have
I-
seized hold of Adriel.
Well,
I don't know what you're up to, but they threaten. They threaten Adriel, like clearly suspecting him of some.
yeah, and I feel like I'm like
Ill
almost passed
deed.
out at this point too. Like I'm just like
I wouldn't
It's all-
Yeah,
necessarily.
Adriel's
leave
real
Adriel.
weak. He's got probably like 3 levels of exhaustion or something. He rolled terribly on his.
just let me go back to my home. I just want to rest, please. We have nothing bad on the ship. There's nothing No contraband, nothing. I just want to go home, please.
Esper, when you say I evaded them, am I watching this from like a hidden spot?
Well, it's up to you. You could have dodged around them and like ran past them. You could have jumped into a ship and we could have your roll stealth check. It's whatever you would like.
I want to get to the land. Like I want to get to the city. I don't want to get on a ship. But if I saw Adriel get caught, I don't think I'd just keep running. I'd try to circle back and try to watch. And I would use my mask to look like a guard. I would just turn into one of the Merocrat dock guards. And then I'm going to try the bluff again. You know, it worked well enough last time. So I'm running up and I'm like, what's going on here? Who attacked who? I heard some commotion.
So Markin, they get him back up onto the dock and he's all in a fluster and he's, blathering on and quite
changing my voice as well.
Quite offended. Yeah. And the dock hands, they check through the sailboat and they say, yeah, nothing here. Ain't got nothing. And one of the soldiers says, what is this? You come rowing in on a halfling junk? You have nothing on you? You assault Markin? What is the meaning? He says this to Adriel.
Yeah, I have little patience right now. I'm just, and I've like put my hand on my head. Like I've been on the ocean for almost 2 or 3 days. I just want to rest. I don't want to cause a commotion. Just let us go, or me go. Since let me go, please. As you can see, we have no contraband on our ship or on our boat.
That companion of yours with this strange look about him, he must have made away with whatever you brought ashore on his person. They check you and they find what do you have? You have a sword.
Yeah, I have like let me check just to confirm. Yeah, I have.
It's funny because all the legal goods I do have on my person. Poisons. Things.
Yeah. Because all I have is I have a rapier. I have the family heirloom rapier, explorer's pack, thieves tool. I have thieves tools. Maybe that would do something. I have crab Caton daggers, a crowbar because I do have a crowbar, silk rope, and oil of magic, and a sling. So nothing too aside from the thieves' tools, maybe.
All right, so they pull out all this stuff and they're like, they call you a treasure hunter or something. That's obviously what you have on you, and it's clear that you are a young master of House Mantevale, which that means something around here, even though they have great rivalry and tensions between the two major factions of Barnacle.
You don't just restrict a retainer of a house for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
They are thinking that your companion, the one in this bird mask,
he no proof.
He put whatever illicit things on his person and he ran off with them. What did he have on him? Tell us.
He didn't have anything on him. He's a family friend.
And I'm there with the guards. I'm just hiding among the guards listening to this, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to say he didn't have anything on him. He's a family friend. I've known him my entire life. If he was doing something wrong, then I must have been doing something wrong as well. But since I wasn't doing anything wrong, then he wasn't doing anything wrong. And if he was, then he will be punished by the Mantevales.
Why this junked up halfling rig?
I'll look back at it and say, why so many questions? Why do you care what I come into shore with? Who are you to speak to me this way anyway? What is your name? Where did you come from? Who are you?
I'm Locke, cousin of Farley Clane. I could get him roused at this hour. Would you like that?
Who is this? Does Adriel know who this is?
So he drops the name of one Farley Clane, which would actually be Sir Farley Clane. He claims to be his cousin. Farley Clane is a knight. He's of the Merocrat, so he would be like trained and serving alongside like the warden of the port, the knight they call Starfish.
Mhm.
So
I'll say, great, you're a cousin of a knight which I have never interacted with. I am the son of the House of Manteville. Feels like my name may have a bit more sway than yours. But we can do it if you'd like. By all means, call the knight. Let's see if he responds to a cousin of his.
this is a waste of my time.
You're right, it's a waste of mine as well.
So they talk up some stuff saying like they're gonna hold this ship and they're gonna be looking at it again tomorrow in the daylight, and they're gonna send a page to your house, and they're making a record of this. They talk a big talk, but in the end they're just like,
there's nothing here. Like, yeah, there's nothing here.
There's nothing that they can really because if they make a big deal of this now, then when people start inquiring later why they made a big deal of it, they have no reason.
Exactly. Yeah. Because like right now, like them even doing this, like could potentially hurt them.
Now,
you know.
That being said, Walykos in the crowd.
Well, you can speculate with all these things, and that's fine. But really, what it is it's Markin. It's Markin Oxivi who's the one who, when everyone like whoop puts all their bets in, like everyone goes all in. Markin really is the one who's like, we're wasting our time. These are just like hopped up on smokes, treasure hunters. They got grudges against the Merocrats.
They're joyriding.
These punk Drakestone.
They came into Merocraft turf and started, some shit just because they wanted
punk Merocrat kids. But he's really the one who's like, we're wasting our time here. But we're making a record of this, and we're got an eye on you, and we're gonna check out the ship and send word to you, on the morrow. So, in the end, they're just not willing to, as it seems, make a bigger deal out of it.
Yeah, they're not confident pulling the trigger yet.
Yeah.
But hey, Walykos, I just want to add one thing to the scene before we wrap it. Walykos, as a guard, is like, can we just throw him in the river or in the water? It's like just as a get back at him. Like he tripped, right? He just tripped.
Maybe so, though. Your characters would be aware of this. The inspector here, this Markin Oxivi, I mean, he is an official of the Port of the Merocrats, so he's someone that has status.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the city.
This is me to the other guards. I'm like
and
standing among
Locke claims to be the cousin of Farley Clane, and Farley Clane he's a younger knight.
Yeah.
He's not one of like the veteran seasoned ones, but I mean he is a knight, so you don't trifle with knights.
Yeah.
So I'll let you all are aware of that, and I'll let you all do what you will with the information. I'm just saying it's not, the one, halfling kid who's nothing from the flotilla that we're talking about here.
Yeah. Well, if they let me go, then I will leave it.
They do really. Markin is one who's like, this isn't worth it. We're wasting our time. Get these punks out of here. We'll do a proper inspection come daylight. But they've got nothing. They're pissed off because they failed on their treasure hunt venture.
Yeah. As I leave and like walk away, like once I'm a bit far away, I'll like look back and say, and again, if my friend has done any wrong, then I'll be sure to report it.
And then you give them both the birds.
Which
is literally set birds flying their way.
Yeah, but I'll say that just to be like, I'm not here to cause a ruckus. But if he was causing any issues, if he had any contraband, I'll be sure to report that to you all.
Walykos slips away from the group.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah. All right, so Adriel staggers away, meets back with Walykos, and you all return to your tower, one of the smaller towers in the vicinity of the Storm Tower, which is the seat of Mantevale. Lord Duncan Mantevale, Master of Rituals. That's his big tower. Yours is like a kind of the one that's off kind of to the side, the edge of their little alcove of the city. Yeah. And you both probably crash.
Oh yeah. Oh, Adriel definitely.
Walykos still recovering.
I tell him we should try and reach Corgain tomorrow, but that can wait.
Yes. I need some rest, my friend.
Is
So-
Ginteljar there when we get
I-
there? Does he have anything? Yeah.
Well, Ginteljar usually is there. He's, the what do we call it? The guardsman of the house, the man at arms of the house. He's probably dozing by this hour, but as you're entering, he rouses. What? Oh, my boy, you're back.
Yes.
You look like shite.
I
Don't smell so
I
good
feel
either.
like, yes, I feel like it as well.
A little better than usual, then. Yeah.
Yes, would you mind perhaps just getting my room ready with one of our servants? I need to rest.
Sure.
I
But the
help
birds have been
Adriel.
missing you. Good to see you back and in one piece.
It's good to be back, Ginteljar. We're probably not going to leave the city again for a little while. We'll talk in the morning, though.
So the two of you go up to the rookery, which is also your personal chambers, and you crash. I suggest that we get the party back together.
We do
Yeah.
a speed forward.
May I do a quick question though?
Yeah.
Before we do that, will I have my hit points back like after all of this, or will I need to use hit dice, or like I don't know if that'll
How
matter at
fast
all.
forward are we doing?
Yeah, because right now I'm missing about 19 hit points. So
Yeah, it's probably a couple of days later, so we'll say everyone's
okay.
taking a couple long rests.
Now, did the walking squid not arrive before they did?
Yeah, I imagine they would have, right?
By like
Because
a couple of days?
because I did.
But
I
you've
did.
been doing
The walking
nothing this
squid
whole
probably
time.
arrived earlier that same day.
Okay.
So I have stuff ready to go for the whole party being together. But if anyone has something important or interesting that you would like to take a look into before then,
All right.
I'll send that.
Not to hijack things, but I do, or Aygir does. In particular, I think first thing when they got back, in fact, possibly even instead of disembarking fully at the regular dock, he would have, assuming there's some way to get ashore in is it the sprawl, where the Firbolgs are? That's over
The Tangle.
The Tangle. That's yes.
Mhm.
To get ashore there and basically call in a favor with the Firbolgs to have either one or two of them if they can spare them, or at very least like a nice little cart and a tarp to dress up this box to look like a shipment of Grove Sheen, and thus something that Aygir, have smuggled before, or not smuggled, but taken legally into town, and use this as a way to smuggle it through the customs officers and get it to somewhere where I can make sure it's not going to be just noticed by anyone. Keep it away from prying eyes.
Mm-hmm. So, you're wanting the ship to go up to the Tangle first before the port?
Yeah, so we can get off
their
with
beach.
Yeah, so we can get off with the magic box and get it disguised as a shipment of Grove Sheen and wheel it into town as such.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, this way they'll see us as coming from the Tangle rather than coming from the docks with it. And I imagine there are fewer customs officers to go through. There's just the one entering the city, as opposed to like one at the dock, one going into the city.
Okay, so you have Tiny Thomas sail the walking squid up north of Havensport, where the landscape shifts into this forest of petropods, these giant blooming mushroomy type growths with dangling tendrils, and eventually after a good stretch of the Tangle, there is a beach, and the beach is adjacent to a Firbolg settlement. The Firbolgs are pretty well interested in this happening, a halfling ship appearing. So they're all standing there on the beach, everything from little kids to typical tenders and workers to some of their warriors, and you row to the shore with the strange box in the rowboat. And you are personally familiar with a number of the Firbolgs here, including Wise Man Kendala, who will come to meet you, Aygir, in Vapor. Well, come. It is good to see you, by sea or by land. You are always a friend in this place.
I'm glad that still holds true. It had been a while. And by way of handshake, he'll extend a hand and just toss a little pouch of 14 gold pieces and 5 silver to Kendala gently, so that he can catch it. It's a little slimmer than perhaps normal this month, but, I figured I had a bit extra. Anything helps, hopefully.
You honor us with your generosity, Aygir. Though gold at this hour brings painful reminders of a recent tragedy.
Which is that? This is the first time hearing of it.
Yes. A boy of our tribe, Barbex, was slain at the port gate just some few days past.
By whom?
Killed by a guardsman there. They had a disagreement over the entrance toll. The guardsman struck him with a fierce blow to his head with the iron clubs, the mace. The boy lasted no more than a day before he perished.
Well, I'm not one to take his life lightly, but perhaps I may have a talk with somebody I know about this.
Yes, ever since you've given your generous caches of money to us, the guardsmen have been asking for higher and higher tolls. Barbex did not want to pay that. He did not want to be exploited, so...
Well, we should have to do something about this. This does not sit well with me, but then for now I shall just keep it at that and give no more coin. If I can help in other ways, maybe perhaps I shall. If I may, though...
We have prayed to Lat Lengyat about this matter. It seems that the gold and silver of the elves is as a poison to our people. But what can we do? This is now their land, and it is their way that we must bow to. It is this or perish, for we are few and they are many, and castles of sand cannot stand against the crashing waves of the ocean.
Well, if I may, a small favor. I have something which would need to be concealed. I aim to travel into town and not have this item seen by those many who would look at it. I'd rather it just stay under wraps in physical and literal ways.
Are you showing him the box?
I imagine Vapor's over by the boat, so I'm kind of pointing to it, but not directly, because, I don't want him to, touch it and curse himself or something.
Mm-hmm. Wendala, tall as he is, places an arm around your shoulder. I will help you in any way that I can, friend. And you see many of the Firbolgs are, watching you with curious eyes. and a young girl, Fearball girl, even dares a venture to come up close and is like touching part of your battle suit that you're wearing. I assume you're wearing it.
Yeah. Careful with that. It could be a bit sharp. Now, well, I know you are not quick to sell it to them, but if we could make this look like a cart containing a shipment of Rosheen that we are to sell to higher-ups among the elven nobility, might be a bit easier to get past customs. I can, of course, pay my usual rate, plus perhaps a little extra.
Some of the nearby Fearbogs look at you with worried eyes. One of them says, "Is he asking that we go back to the gate with him to bring in this so-called shipment?"
Given what happened the other day, no, I am not.
They murmur and are quite concerned by the idea of that. So you say no, you don't. That's not the intention. Do you have the chains still wrapped around the box?
Oh, of course.
Or is it wrapping the lid shut?
Yeah.
Okay. What is in this box that it needs such bindings?
Nothing physical, but perhaps some sort of magic. It is warded in a sense. And those wards
Elven
are
magic?
not elven, no. Sort of like dwarven, but not quite. It's very, very old.
Something about this container makes me feel greatly uncomfortable.
You and me both.
Well, what can we give you? One of our blankets?
A blanket, a cart, perhaps a few little jars or pots to make it seem a bit more believable as your own goods of your own manufacture and not something that I'm smuggling, which of course it is.
It shall be done for you, Aygir. And they provide this, like woven blanket that's made of like these fungal threads that, might go over a typical box or container of the Fearbolgs. And they give you, as you ask, these, little sealed stoneware jars that they've fashioned. And the money that you've paid them is well above and beyond anything close to the value of these handicrafts. And you said you were looking for a cart?
Yeah.
Okay. So they have a small cart, a two-wheeled thing that an Agong pulls.
So I guess it's safe to say we can get the thing.
The beast snorts with the harnesses being strapped onto it.
Safe to say we can get this loaded on here and taken to the gate, right? Just in the interest of not stealing too much time from everybody else for this scene.
Yep. So Aygir and Vapor, you go in this fashion, just the two of you.
Vapor's going to speak up to Aygir.
Oh.
You do know we have a cave that we could hide this in to get into that place we found. We went out of it the first time.
You do know that just leads onto the streets. The cave that we went to get into the ruins where we made our little kind of abode.
No, so there's that. So there's the entrance in.
He's talking about the coastal cave, Karak.
Right.
Yeah.
Koryak.
Well, that's like a good couple of days down the coast the other direction.
No. So we have where our hideout now is at.
Right.
If we go through the acid room, there's a tunnel that leads into a cave
that just leads back out onto the streets.
Okay.
No, it didn't. I'm pretty sure it led out onto the coast.
That leads into the Crumble part of the city.
Oh, okay, so it's still in the city. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That would be great if we had a way to get through the city walls just like that, but no, sadly we don't. Maybe
Okay,
at some
I
point
thought
we can
Vapor
add
was
that.
talking about the coastal cave
No, I
where
thought it
you
led
help those
was
smugglers
outside the city
arrive
of
and-
some sort.
okay. I guess I could pull up map just for extra visual during this interaction here. I can pull it up briefly. Oops, did I do something wrong? Oh, nope, that's fine. Okay, cool.
Oh wow,
Alright,
it's getting even more detailed.
Yeah, so you are up here at the moment, or actually here. There's the beach and the little village. So you're there, and you're going to take this Agong drawn cart here to Barnacle, to the port gate.
Yeah.
Very well. So it's just the two of you, and like you said, there's the inspectors and the gate guards and such. They've seen you two before, and you're going at this as, hey, just bringing in another shipment of Grove Sheen to sell. Here's our tax. Is that the gist of it?
Pretty much.
Okay. So the gate guards, they want to take a look, and they want to collect the toll from you.
All right.
Everything's fine. All right. So they lift up the lid. They see the jars inside. Have you put anything in the jars, or just empty?
I've probably put some various herbs and maybe a bit of some kind of other like dried fungal powder, maybe even a little bit of Grove Sheen.
Okay.
Not the
fill it
good
up
stuff.
kind of as best you can. You fill it up as best you can. They take a look, and to them it's like, oh, whatever. It's not an amazing shipment of Grove Sheen here. They collect a toll from you, which is just maybe a couple gold pieces, or maybe not even quite that much. And one of the guards, he makes a comment to you, Aygir, and says, "There's been some trouble recently with the Firbolgs. We're hoping that it doesn't escalate. We've got enough problems as it is. Did they mention anything while you were there?"
Told me about a little scuffle. Didn't sound like much though.
Well, it could have been far worse. I wasn't there at the time, though. It might be better doing it this way if they have you serving as merchant, at least until we get things sorted out. Who's to tell how long that's going to take?
Yes, I agree. All it takes is one of them getting a little too bold, or a fresh-faced and sadistic recruit being too much of a law dog. Things could turn nasty.
Yes, well, got enough on my mind as it is without those sorts of things boiling over the pot. So, very well. Good selling to you.
And to you, in a manner of speaking.
So you all get into the city. You've got the box. Where would you like to take the box?
To where I imagine we're meeting up with the other two, which is at that thing that's kind of like our base of operations.
At the Arcane Sanctum?
Yep.
Okay. I think this is the perfect place for you all to reconvene. So it's been a couple days. We're just going to cut to you guys all together there in your Arcane Sanctum in the old, fire giant complex that you have delved into beneath the crumble, this massive section that used to be big parts of this old giant castle, like mega castle. So, much of these ruins have been picked through, but there's still secrets and things being uncovered, as you all have clearly discovered. So there you all are in your sanctum.
Been a long time, Aygir and Vapor. How have you been?
It's been about 3 days by my count, which is about a day longer than I thought it would be. What took you so long?
Well, perhaps it hasn't been that long for you. We've been actually doing things on our way here.
Oh, what?
We
Murder
haven't.
another goblin girl? Attempt to murder another goblin girl? He says, completely not knowing. Offhand.
When Aygir says
Yeah.
that, Adriel's gonna like look to Walykos with like a raised eyebrow, and then look back to Aygir and say, "No, we didn't. No killings of any goblin girls."
Vapor's gonna hold up some of the herb jars that Aygir got from the Furbog. You know what you've got here?
Herbs, mostly.
Yeah. And they're actually in pretty good shape.
Speaking
Happy
of
birthday.
herbs.
Or whatever the equivalent in MIRRORMOURN is of a birthday type celebration, where gift giving will be a thing.
Life Day.
Speaking of herbs, I got you something to Vapor from our last job, you might say.
Oh.
Oh yes,
Just
Vapor.
dry down and looks to Walykos.
Yes, Vapor Aygir, you actually may find some use in this.
I
Perhaps
won't
be able
ask
to
for
help.
payment at this time, but I'm sure you'll, in the future, repay me as is appropriate. And I take out 3 pouches that have been folded and sort of wrapped this powder in them. I say, this is a sleeping powder that can be inhaled, and apparently it can knock out even an elf who is immune to magical sleep.
Mhm.
So hearing that they can be knocks out elves, Vapor is gonna be very carefully picking one of the pouches up, and I moves it to his ear to shake it a little, just to kind of hear
What are
like
you
how fine
listening
the powder-
for?
Is there something that should be listened there? I'm little.
You hear
I mean,
the
I'm not a
ocean,
science. I'm
Vapor.
not a scientist, but perhaps.
Depending on how fine the powder is, can tell you. You can tell with sound sometimes.
Oh, well, you could also look
yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
quite fine.
I'd
powder,
rather not
for
look at
sure.
it yet until I have a place I can sit
I
up
mean,
to
just don't
study
breathe it in. So, but anyways, there's 3
Yes,
doses.
you
quite
want
a-
me
quite a fine
to
powder.
replicate this powder?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm guessing you want me to come up with a either counter or see if I can replicate it to myself.
You can determine that yourself. If you can replicate it, which I imagine you can, fantastic. You have a new sleeping powder that can be a non-lethal way of dealing with things. My eyes wander to Adriel, and then back to Aygir, and then to Vapor. Having more options when we need to perform work is not a bad thing, especially if we're going to be staying in Barnacle. Something that will actually knock out an elf might be useful.
That might be very useful. I hear the guards are getting more hands-on, a bit more illegal
can-
with their actions lately.
Oh yes, I can tell you firsthand that they seem a bit stuck up right now. I don't know what's going on with them.
Let's just say, if you were to ever murder someone in cold blood, there's a particular mace-happy guard that I'm sure would not be missed.
I don't think I've yet to murder someone in cold blood, only when they deserved it.
I don't know who you're referring to out here, so you'll have to be a little more specific if accidents were to happen.
Sadly, I didn't get any details, but if I hear anything...
Yeah.
Well, did you two get anything interesting on your ways here?
As a matter of fact, we did.
Oh.
You see this baby? It can hold so many...
Did you just
something.
slap the chest?
It is warded, and apparently at some point it contained a creature which was not easy to dispatch. But we have it now, and we can study it in the safety of this place.
Is there something special about the wooden box?
Well, look at it. Do you recognize it?
I'll look over it and say, yes, I do.
Oh, you
It looks like a
don't.
wooden box.
For one thing, it's made of stone, bound with bronze. And for another
Oh,
thing,
sorry,
it's,
that's right. Oh, it was stone, that's right. Sorry, I would have said that then. My bad.
well, it's very, very old. Older than giants were here.
Why did you bring it here?
It's magic. What was I going to do? Leave it in the shipwreck?
Are you sure it's magic? It just looks like a box to me.
Yes, because
What
I'm
does it
the
do
one
if
who
it's
detects the magic on it.
What does it do then?
Well, that's what we're going to study and figure it out.
It is warded of some sort.
Aberration, I believe, was the class of sorts of magic I had on it.
I see.
Well,
Well, if you do
isn't that
find
just-
anything interesting, perhaps it may be useful. Unfortunately, we only come back with this powder that we received.
Well,
Perhaps a small boat as well, Walykos. I don't know what. we're
no,
going
I
to
don't
with
want
it.
that boat. The gnat is. They can keep it at the harbor. I don't care.
Yeah, it's probably best if we sell it anyway. Get it off of us.
So, you mean to tell me the two of you went on a crime spree to burglarize some high-value target with a
What
bunch of
are you
halfling
talking
master
about?
thieves, and you come back with only... What? Did you not go... Where did you go?
Well,
That's none of
unfortunately,
your business.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was the burglars. Was it not?
Well,
Did you not steal anything useful at least?
unfortunately, the companions that we went with were actually quite bad at their job. They overstated their abilities.
They
Oh.
failed.
As you know, sometimes it is like that.
In any
They
case,
failed. They failed a bit more spectacularly than some others. 3 of them fell off of a cliff, or was it 4? I think it was 4 Walykos. Or 4 fell off the cliff.
3.
No, I know, no.
Esper,
Adriel,
we know.
yeah, no.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Carry on.
That's a run of
Yeah.
bad luck. A run of very bad luck. Or
Yeah.
almost uncanny, even.
One could say that.
And you weren't responsible for this, were you?
No more
No,
responsible than the halflings were for their stupidity.
It was their fault they died, not mine, not Walykos.
In any case, let's move on. It's not going to help anything rehashing it. It was a failed venture.
There's nothing I can do about it now. I don't want to pry for fear of what I might learn.
In any case, I've got to get in touch with Corgain.
It
Yeah.
couldn't hurt to talk to Connor Spindle about, well, this box, but we
Yeah,
did
why
just
don't you
get
go
back
take it to
from...
that useless fool.
Have you two just have it a
That
way of?
fool knows a great deal more things than either you or I know about anything. But yes, Corgain, we did just come back from dealing with thralls of Balefonda. If anybody knows what's next, it would be him.
Have you two found a way of perhaps dealing with the fire beneath, so that we can explore more?
It's true.
Vapor, show them your trick.
Which one? I learned
The
many.
party trick, the new one.
No, that was just by chance. That was when my magic went out of control. I can't make myself fly like that all the time.
You mean you can't control it?
Not very well.
Sounds like you're just making things up, Aygir.
Yes, I agree. If you don't have anything to say,
He
Vapor,
assumed you were talking about
okay.
when he was flying around.
Yeah, well, Adriel was like, if you don't have any way of dealing with the fire, just say so we can move on. No need to lie.
I might
said-
have a way to deal with it. But
Although the last time we dealt with one of those walls of fire, we did find this, the trident, and the fireball scroll, which Vapor still has, I presume.
Did
Pulls out the
anyone
scroll.
attune to and put on those boots?
Vapor might have if Aygir gave him back.
Yeah.
Between you two.
I don't know if it matters, by the way, Esper.
So you
your
see that
webcam is
Vapor
off.
is wearing a nice pair of boots now.
Well, we got to kill him now. I'm just kidding. I'd pay no
Vapor,
mind.
your speed has increased by
Plus 10.
40 feet. By 10 to, I assume you're at
40 feet?
now.
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
okay.
oh,
Everyone
okay.
heard that. He said 40 feet.
It's too late
No.
now, Esper.
What have I done? This is not Drakefell. All right. Your speed, in my mind, it was going up to 40 feet, right?
He's now.
I first thought you were like,
And when you
he's
jump, your
increased-
jumping is doubled.
Okay, so what? Your usual standard is. 10.
No, I can make use of those pretty well.
Yeah.
What's your
Oh,
strength score?
My
Vapor?
strength is 10.
All right. So normally with a running start, you jump 10 feet, and without a running start, you jump 5 feet. Long jump. So those are doubled to 20 and 10 respectively. And then
Okay.
high jump is like 3 with a running start and 1.5 for
I
you.
just want to say
It's like
I can
3 plus your
potentially
strength
long
score.
jump 40
So
feet.
those are
with
doubled.
those.
Yeah, Walykos would go really far with those.
I could be like Jedi jump basically across
Force jumping across the field.
with a 55 move speed, and jumps get to add an extra like D10 or something. Yeah. Anywho, that's cool. But so did we have a way to deal with the firewall? You were saying kind of iffy. You weren't giving us an answer yet.
I might have a way.
Okay, well, why don't we deal with it? There might be
Yes,
more
let's
treasure.
let's do that. I'd love to explore more. Deal with all of those mechanized maniacs down there.
Esper, is it safe to say that I would have left a message for Corgain to meet me when he's available, or tried to reach out to him somehow?
Okay.
We could just leave that off screen.
You sent a pebble peck.
I was about to say I would send a bird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
All right, so you've sent a bird to try to get in touch with Corgain and meet.
But it might be days before he reaches me, so it's not unexpected that nothing's come yet. So cool. Yeah, we could do that. I'm waiting here till Corgain comes along, anyways.
All right, so I think this is fine enough for the moment. You've secured the strange box at your sanctum. Vapor has equipped the boots of striding and springing. You all have met back up with one another. Tensions are rising in Barnacle, and you're waiting on Corgain to get in touch. Aygir is interested in speaking with Connus Spindle, and there was something else.
We want to go check out the fire dungeon.
Yeah, the place with the walls of fire that we can now cast a spell magic on.
Yeah, you have not seen the extents of what we're calling the fire dungeon, which is part of the area down here where your arcane sanctum is.
Correct.
So, okay. I say that you all are like taking a day to prepare yourselves to do your delve.
I mean, we could just walk over.
Into the fire dungeon.
We're in the arcane sanctum, so it's like literally just a walk.
Hop and skip, jumping away.
Are you ready to go there right now?
I mean, I don't see why not. We've been rested for days.
It's up to you
Yeah.
all.
I'm good. Yeah, no, Adriel's good to go.
Okay.
We may not be delving too far. We're just going to see if we can get into that.
The only potential thing, because I imagine it could be quick and doesn't need a whole role-play out scene, is that I might want to try and sell some things and see if I have enough money for better armor. But I would also be fine just going.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
in my mind, you guys were like, let's take a day or so to like prepare ourselves and then delve. But it's up to you guys. If you want to like go in there right now,
Adriel's ready.
Stop you.
He's rested for like a day and a half.
Yeah, Walykos is ready. If you have a way to take down the firewall.
Yeah, well, technically, Vapor does have something that he can use to attempt it.
Well, you've got dispel magic now, so
yeah,
we know that that's worked. So, in any case,
okay. Yep. All right. That sounds like a plan then. Let me open up.
Open up.
Yeah, let me open up. Oh no! Hold on. I just drew an object. I did not want to draw an object.
What have you done?
I drew.
What have I become?
My sweetest friend. Okay. Oh. Work with me, map tool. Work with me. Come on. Okay. Yes.
I expect this
Glorious.
to hopefully be pretty quick, but we'll see. Could lead to an entirely new dungeon.
That's true.
This whole thing actually has been the intro to a mega dungeon that begins now.
Yeah.
As we discover this thing is like 14 levels deep.
60 episodes, we're still in the fire dungeon.
we when we leave the fire dungeon, we're like level 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This represents, or this is, the locations that you have explored in what we're calling the fire dungeon, or the lava dungeon, really, the lava dungeon. As you all are coming up upon the entrance. So far, things seem to be as you last left them. There are corpses of burnt up Balai. There is a destroyed construct that has a strange crab-like form. There are other constructs like this iron cobra. This was an illusion.
That was an illusion.
That is an
Walykos
illusion
did
that's
it.
still there.
Yeah.
Unless someone moves that pebble, it will be there forever.
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll and see if something has moved that pebble. The illusion is not there. Something moved that pebble.
Really?
Something else
All
down
right,
here.
well,
So there's
when we
something
get
down
down
here still.
when we get down there, then I'm gonna say, Walykos,
Yeah,
didn't you
I
put
see
an
it.
illusion there?
Yeah, no, something must have moved it, which means that there's something still alive down here. Everyone be
Oh.
on your guard.
Or multiple things.
These
And I'll pull
are
out my
old
blades at that.
skeletons.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. These are old skeletons of giants. They were there when you got there.
Yeah.
This is a
Dead end.
an unfinished tunnel.
Yeah.
These are stairs that they drop down into a chamber with a kind of arcane lift, and the key are these
Rooms.
shards. I think we called them.
Yeah, I call it an obsidian lift key, but
Yeah, that's it. They're made of obsidian shard, and there are like receptacle slots where you insert the keys inside this, like it's kind of a hexagonal or octagonal lift chamber, and you have, I think, just one of the obsidian keys.
And just so it's on the record, all the other various random interesting loot that Aygir has been left in the secure treasury room back in the Arcane Sanctum, except for the obsidian shard, which he's obviously brought with him because we might need it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you have that one obsidian shard with you. This is a wall of fire that seems to be permanent. You haven't seen on the other side. And the
That's where
flames
we're
are
headed. Yeah.
So we do know, though, that on the other side of that wall, presumably, is a hallway filled with smoke.
Potentially.
There is this smoke here.
We don't know if
that might meet up. Yeah, that's what Aygir is suspecting there.
Yep.
It is not merely smoke, but it is actually like burning hot
Steam.
smoke.
It's like a steam, you said.
It's a smoldering effect. So not only does it obscure sight, but it actually burns you when you go into that smoke.
Cool.
There is this.
We got through that.
Fire was that dispelled?
Yep, it was dispelled. That's why we've been in that room.
Okay, that's actually dispelled. I don't know why I left that on the map.
You probably just
there.
never removed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably just didn't erase it, but I will erase it because I believe it was Vapor who dispelled that.
Yeah, we had a spell scroll from Kana Spindle and Vapor cast it.
There we go. Yep, that's what happened. Okay. All right, so you all have expressed interest in
going to that firewall.
This firewall here. Okay, this wall of fire
hit it with the
is
dispel.
Radiating its fire
like 15 feet forward or something.
Yep, it's 15 feet.
And we can hit it with the magic from beyond that.
So, where are my notes? Oh my gosh, I have them on a whole other thing. Give me 1 sec. I knew I was forgetting to open up something. Don't worry, I have it like really close by here. Lava to ruin, lava. Oh, they got unalphabetized. Let me re-alphabetize them. There it is. Okay, it radiates out into the room that you are in. So it radiates out this direction.
Correct. Yeah.
Vapor, you are welcome back to hell, Vapor. In case you forgot, it feels chokingly, swelteringly oven-like in here to you, and you immediately start sweating.
So as soon as some heat starts hitting him, he goes from his greenish tint to this pale greenish tint, and he's just covered in sweat.
A little bit hot for you, Vapor.
He looks at Adriel and just looks, not saying anything, looks at the wall of fire and casts a spell's magic.
All right.
He's
So,
just not in the mood.
Vapor has
Not-
no patience for this. All right.
Adriel, yeah, don't push his buttons right now.
Sorry.
All right.
Walykos.
Give a charisma check. Straight up charisma check.
Oh God.
Use inspiration if you have
I
it.
don't have it.
Who
Because
got
that's
the
a 12.
inspiration?
I don't.
I
think
did.
Adam does.
I did.
Aygir got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 12. Alas, the wall is not dispelled. Are you casting it again?
No, that was for the wild magic.
That was
sir.
wild magic. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you're going to cast it again.
Yeah, you'll cast it again. Though I
Right.
wish that was for casting it again because that was a 19.
What you're looking for here is it's a DC 10 plus the spell level. And it's
So
made
I need
permanent, so maybe that makes it a
14.
little bit higher. You're not sure.
So-
All right, what do you
Okay,
got?
so I need at least a minimum, probably a 14, but I'm probably going to need higher.
Probably. Roll it.
Okay, well, that's a 17. And a natural 20, so I don't have...
The fire disperses.
No, I imagine
Well
like
done.
you disperse
Well
the
done,
fire and then a fireball casts on us, and it's just like, hey, what did you do, Vapor? Why?
I took the fire and released it here!
Okay. All right. I'm going to
Show us what we see.
I'm going to show you some stuff.
You see, Adriel, he's not having trouble. He's just getting fired up.
Esper's only been
Fire
waiting
it
like
up.
10 episodes
Fire it up.
for this.
Ah. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do.
And I'll have my crossbow out. So I'm like training my crossbow down the
Okay.
hall.
All right, cool. Crossbow in hand. Anyone else have any other
I guess,
preparations that
yeah.
are noteworthy?
Yeah, I suppose I'd probably have my
Vapor's kind
short
of
bow
like-
out as well.
He's kind of like hands on the knees, just like panting because that took a lot more out of him because of how hot it is. He imagines.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, and I'd probably have my short bow out as well, just in case anything popped out.
What do
Aygir is
we
actually
have
in
here?
Guardian armor mode with his lightning sword and shield ready.
Okay.
Or
excellent.
thunder, rather.
That seems well prepared. Give me just one moment. I'm like opening up stuff, things, and necessary details. All right.
Things and stuff and stuff and things.
Yes. It's all very technical.
I have the what have I become song stuck in my head now. Hurt. That's
It's called,
yeah,
it's
hurt,
called
yeah.
Hurt, yeah.
Hurt. Yeah, it's stuck in my head now. The first time I heard that song was from this isn't the original version obviously, but the Johnny Cash one for Logan, the trailer. It's so good.
His
Okay.
covering of it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, that's a great cover.
I think both versions, the original and Johnny Cash's covering, are great versions of that song.
I don't think I've heard the original before because like I heard the song from the Logan trailer, which I thought was such a beautiful trailer. Like it was so but it's only good if you grew up with like all the original.
So in other
like,
words, you're saying you don't know shit about music and you got to get yourself educated. Huh? That's what I'm hearing.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Adam,
I
disapprover.
Yeah, I literally like songs like Bang Bang and Cardi B's Money and stuff like that.
Anyways, we're in the lava dungeon now,
Yeah.
and Vapor has dispelled a apparently permanent wall of fire, not so permanent anymore.
Well done,
And
Vapor.
it well done indeed. It opens up another section, what looks to be a large room. You do, to Aygir's suspicions, see the other side of this smoldering, hovering cloud. You can't see the full extent of the room just because of the walls blocking off and such, though you do see there's some mass of chains. Who knows what that is?
Is it a chain devil? Because if it's a chain devil, I'm running.
What is that? Why would Adriel know what that is?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh no,
Some-
sorry, I wasn't saying that.
Some of
in
the characters
character.
do.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of with my bow say, does anyone know what that is? It doesn't seem to be moving.
I'm just gonna stare at it. I'm gonna watch it to see if it moves at all.
Yeah, I'll wait as well. I'm not just gonna fire
No
off.
movement.
No movement.
Aygir will
No,
ready in
no
action
movement.
to
It
cast.
looks like a cluster of
Stormbolt.
chains. Maybe it's affixed to a pillar or a stand.
Perhaps we should.
It
Perhaps we
doesn't
should-
look like a creature, but who knows? Maybe it is. It could be.
Yeah, so I'm with my bow
anything.
say, if it's not moving, perhaps it's stationary, and we could check it out. But
All right.
I don't know if I want to
lead the way.
approach
It's
anything
your
like that.
favorite.
I was say I don't know if I want to lead the way towards that.
Why don't we cover someone and one person checks it out?
I agree with that, but who are we sending in?
In a traditional gesture, Aygir touches his nose.
Yes, none of us else have touched our nose. We're like, thank you for volunteering, Aygir.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know how that's not how this works.
It is how it works when
you
we're playing.
hear Vapor just like
Perhaps
you
I have an
know, we
idea.
can see if it's a magical item before we go and take a closer look at it. To see
Yeah,
if
why
it's
don't
a
you
trap.
go ahead and do that?
Spending a sorcery point, he is going to distance detect magic
Okay, nice.
and then move within 60 feet of it.
Oh, cool. Do you have distant spell?
Yes.
He does.
Oh, nice. I was using that one on an NPC
Does
sorcerer
does
last
distance-
weekend, and I quite liked the distance spell.
Does distance spell work on area of effects though?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
it depends. It depends. So if let's say like fireball,
Sure,
you would like
double.
measure out up to 240 feet,
Mm-hmm.
but the radius stays the same.
Yeah, it's.
And then if it's like I think if it's like a touch spell, you can make it originate from a point within 30 feet of you. Have I understood that correctly?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Like if it
believe-
was burning hands or detect magic,
written.
right?
Well, apparently distance spell only. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, it should work. Yeah, guess that makes sense.
Well, it's not a touch spell; it's a ranged self. Just so you know, on detect
So when you
magic.
cast a spell that has a range of 5 feet or greater, you can spend 1 sorcery point to double the range of the spell.
that, it won't work then. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
range,
a range of
self.
self. Yeah, and
Or
then
if
it has
it's a range of
it has
touch,
an
it can
area.
originate from
yeah.
30 feet. So it's not touch nor a range. It's just, does it just say
Yep.
self?
So, yeah,
as the
It's
range?
just self.
Yeah, the way I viewed
Okay,
it
so
was
if it's
like
just
like
self, then
and
it's
has a
emanating
30-foot
from
radius.
you. Do you still want to cast it, Vapor?
You could just get within 30 feet of it.
Yeah,
Well,
he'll just have to get within 30
Why don't we
feet.
just? I mean,
Perhaps
I was trying to stay
perhaps
further away
we-
from it. But
Yeah.
Wait,
that's-
I have an idea, my friends. Perhaps we should just draw straws as is tradition.
okay.
Yep, I'm gonna reach into my bag and I don't know how you.
Well,
wanna do this.
you gotta wait till they agree to it. You can't just.
Oh,
Force.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
they
well,
say
yeah. I'll
no,
wait, I'll wait.
Vapor's
wait,
already
Brian.
walking forward with detect magic cast.
Oh, yeah, so I
Yeah.
imagine,
I love
as I'm
Vapor's
rumbling-
impatience.
Yeah,
I
he
imagine,
is
like,
hot,
as-
he is tired, he is miserable, he just wants to get out of this place.
I imagine like as Adriel's like getting into his bag to pull out straws, like he looks up and goes, "Oh, well that works."
All right.
I cover
Vapor,
it with my.
make
bow. I can-
a
yeah.
perception check, Vapor.
He gets hit by like 20 fireballs.
Where were the
No,
I
it's-
used all my natural 20s on the meta magic, god damn it.
It's just
That's
like
a 6. He's just
Okay.
killing them.
All right. So Vapor is walking in. He's trying to get within this,
Just
Within a
within 30 feet.
within a 30-foot range. And
the 100 skeletons.
what you
with
did not
crossbows.
notice was a bit of movement in the chains. And one of the chains lashes out with a great reaching distance.
I would shoot at
And
it,
this
I mean-
will be a attack against him. Vapor.
which will trigger my readied action to shoot it. So,
Yeah, I would say that I would
readied
do that
actions
too, but
specifically have to happen during
in
initiative.
combat, that's fine. But I
Yep.
declared that we were going to shoot it if it did anything. So
A 15 to hit.
Unfortunately, that will not because I will be casting shield
Okay.
as a reaction.
You can.
That
Yep,
was
you
up
ca-
from
you-
meta magic.
Yep. You fling up your shield of force and reflect back the this chain that seemed to be, trying to grab you up, and there's like a sound, and it like retracts real fast. So I'll give two options here. Either Vapor can just like run back to the party and we'll keep things going like this, or everyone can roll for initiative. What do you want to do? Well, let's leave it up to Vapor. What is Vapor?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess
Okay.
it depends on what Vapor
Real
does.
quickly, how close is he to this thing?
You're maybe like 45 feet away from it there.
So it has a range of at least 45 feet.
40 feet away from it.
Okay, so could he move 10 feet and then just run back 20 feet real quickly?
So you're trying to
Okay,
still
so
finish
yeah, so
detecting
in that
magic.
case, go ahead and roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Just everyone
Yeah,
roll it up, and
because
it'll be easier to manage
I
that
still
way.
want to get like a magical detection on it. Just
Let's just
where
roll
the
it.
hell were these when I needed them? God, I got a dirty 20.
All right.
I mean, everyone but Aygir rolled amazing.
I guess
I got an 11.
Vapor's so sweaty. He's got that dirty 20.
So Adriel got,
Who's after 20?
well,
I
Adriel
got a
got 20.
24. Yeah, Adriel
Oh.
got 24.
Split. All right, after 20?
19 for Walykos.
I got a
Aygir
rock.
got 11.
I got a
Aygir got a
rock.
rock?
I got 11.
Okay, 11's not a rock. All right.
No,
was about
it's,
to say
well, it
11
is
is not-
comparatively.
It
Compared
might
to a
have rolled
24, I
worse.
guess it is. All right, so
There's a 9 on the die.
yeah, we'll organize this by initiative count. So, Adriel, you can act first. The thing, it appears like an object. It doesn't look like a creature. You don't see anything creature-like about it. It seems to be affixed in place.
Yeah, there were
It made
traps
this
down
like,
here.
clicky
I
mechanical
will,
type sound.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into position to shoot it with my bow. I'm not gonna walk up forward to it because I saw what happened to Vapor.
All right, Adriel, you post up and take a shot.
17 to hit.
Yeah, that's good enough. Roll for some damage.
9 damage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I couldn't do my steady aim because I had
Tell
to move.
me about your bow or your arrows. Is there anything special about them?
Nope, just normal short bow, normal arrows.
All right, so it does half damage.
Okay, resistant. Gotcha.
Let's go to Vapor.
It is piercing
You wanna-
damage,
you
by
wanna
the
do
way,
the
if it
thing?
matters.
So
Yep, I
Vapor
got it.
would like to
Do you want to do the
move-
thing?
Yeah, 10 feet forward.
All right, so you move up, so it gets just within range of your detect magic. And I'll reveal a little bit more as well as you get there. And let's do this here. Yeah, maybe about like that. I always feel a little bit like Bob Ross when I'm unveiling the fog of war.
Just a little
Because
bit of reveal.
Yeah,
here,
because it takes
little
like a
bit
minute to trace the line, so I gotta like just
Just a
a
happy little tree. Yeah.
And the room's so
Cloud
cold,
clear.
you gotta add a little alizarin crimson in there just to keep it warm, you know? Just to make it nice and warm. Make a nice
Oh.
little house for it. Drop
Oh,
in
is there
a couple
another
happy little
trap?
trees in the
Oh, there's
background.
so many traps, Vapor. Oh no, it's the
Vapor.
arrows all
It was-
over again.
It was not a good
Vapor.
idea.
You see the smoldering smoke cloud here. You see, obviously, the chains. These are hanging cages, and they are hanging from the ceiling with like these chains, and then inside of them are dwarf skeletons, old dwarf skeletons.
Okay.
There's a section up there. There's also a section here.
But I can't really see because of the smoldering flare out.
Yeah, right. But maybe you can see a little indication that something's there.
Okay. At this point, Vapor is going to turn back and run half the 20 feet back.
Uh-huh. Did the detect magic require an action to like focus onto it?
No.
No,
For the
it's-
duration, you sense
It's concentration up
presence of
to 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's just a constant thing that you just detect magic within 30 feet of you.
Sure. All right. So there is an aura, sort of a moderate aura of conjuration magic, which is the cloud.
So
So
you
it
can
seems that
use
magic
your
is holding
action.
that cloud there.
Hang on. You can use your action to see the faint aura around a visible creature object.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was the action.
Yeah.
All right. So I've given you a little extra information. So if you don't use the action, you would just get, there's magic in the cloud. And if you use your action, it's like, there's this medium strength aura of conjuration. So
Okay, and
there we go. Now we know.
And
All right,
so there's no magic. He can't sense any sort of magic coming off of that weird chain thing.
Seems to be mechanical.
Okay. He is going to run back in the 20 feet. And time to call the lightning down.
All right. You call the power of the storm that was given to you as a boon from the living storm. Mogologologolololo. And a, second cloud begins to appear. This one rolling about the ceiling, the high ceiling of the dungeon here. And a bolt comes down, a stroke comes down. Go ahead and roll your lightning damage.
Margololo Golo.
That's it. Margololo.
3d10.
I didn't remember Theory Oknos, but I remember Margololo Golo.
8, 4. That is 14 points of damage.
14 lightning damage. Okay.
It do need to do a dex saving throw.
It doesn't. It can't dex save.
Okay. Well,
So-
I'm just.
It's
No,
just like
it
we
has
just
it-
watched like this chain thing jump
It
out
has
of
no
the way.
chance. No, it has no chance. All right. So you call down a lightning bolt onto it, which it does a bit of damage, right? That seemed to be effective. It's a big, heavy, strong, reinforced type object. So it's not just getting blasted to smithereens with a single zap, but it seemed pretty effective what you just did. And I guess you'll just concentrate on that now. And every turn you can bolt it again.
The detect magic has dropped, so he's just going to be every time just dropping spells on that.
Very well. Yeah, that might be a good call. What about Walykos?
Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Walykos will shoot at the chain thing with his crossbow to see if he can damage or destroy it.
Okay.
So I'll make my roll. That's an X20.
Critical hit.
So critical hit, 2 dice. That's a lot of damage. 22 damage.
That's pretty damn good. That would be halved unless you've got some something special, and I don't think so.
Nope.
11. Okay. So you put
Still as much as a normal hit. would,
Yeah. You put a nice nick on it. What about Aygir?
Alrighty. Aygir will run up to within 60 feet of the thing.
Okay, there you go.
Which was how much movement?
I think that was 25 feet.
Alright. And he will then reach out his spell focus, one of his thunder weapons, his sword, and ping a storm bolt at it with what I can only assume is advantage. Given that
Yes.
it's made of metal.
Yes. Quite advantage.
Okay. That I needed advantage. To hit, that's going to be a 18. Okay, I have a +7 to that.
That is a hit.
Alrighty.
Oh, Paper, your speed is 10 feet faster.
I'm
From the
fine
boot.
right there.
You fine right there? Okay.
I'm doing 8 damage, by the way.
8 lightning. Okay. That worked. The chains fling out. This is an attack against Vapor. Probably going to be a miss. 12. And this is an attack against Aygir.
Yep, that'll miss.
10, which will probably just be falling short of you. And we're back to Adriel.
Oh boy, I will use my steady aim to get advantage on my next shot.
Very well.
Advantage.
Now, advantage
20.
is always nice. I think sneak attack is just against creatures.
Oh, that's a good point. Let me check.
I'm
I
pretty
should confirm
sure.
that. Yeah, let me. Oh, I have it written
Creature.
down
Yeah,
on my
it's just
character
against
sheet.
creatures. Which makes sense. I mean, sneak attacking objects is just silly. I snuck up. I snuck up on the rock. All right,
It says.
but yes, advantage is always a nice thing to have. So.
Oh, it does say creature. Yep, you're right. Okay, yeah, I'll still do the advantage though. I mean, I'm not moving at all. 26 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Yep, only 6 damage. But yeah.
6 damage. All right, so that reduces to 3. The thing's still standing there. It's a quite large object contraption, hefty and heavy and metallic, giant engineering. Clearly, or the dwarves probably helped him as well.
Well, I guess we just keep shooting it till it breaks.
Vapor.
Well, seeing that it can still reach out and touch at him at this point, Vapors can move back probably around the corner and then just drop another lightning bolt so he can't be in range of the damn thing.
All right, go ahead and roll up the damage.
That's going to be 16.
All right, 16 it is. That's a pretty good blast. It's still standing. Walykos.
Walykos will just shoot it again because his shot seemed pretty effective. Does a +8, 23.
Oh yes.
All right. Go ahead and take 10 damage. So I guess have that, but
5.
still I'm doing damage.
Sure. Aygir.
Oh wait, I have 2 attacks. I apologize. I forgot I have extra attack.
The crossbows only can shoot once per turn
Is that
because they have loading.
gotcha?
Yeah, it's actually extra attack is the reason why I'm going to do something that hopefully isn't horribly foolish, which is that I'm going to take another Stormbolt shot. Once again with advantage and critically hitting this time. Rolled a 20 on one die and a 5 on the other.
Right. So 4d8s lightning
2d8.
at level 5. The cantrip goes up to 2d8.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm level 5 now. All right, cool. I should have rolled more last time, but oh well. I will happily do it this time.
Live and learn, kid. Live and learn.
Alrighty. That's more appreciable. Okay.
Level 5 is a pretty sweet level.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm doing 23 damage there.
So you like blast off half of the chains and like bits and links go scattering everywhere. The thing like it's trying to like reel back in parts that aren't even attached to it any longer. It's like vibrating and making all these like malfunctioning noises. And it looks like it's about ready to just completely cease altogether.
Cool. After shooting that, I keep running my full 30-foot speed towards it.
Towards it.
Towards it? Wait,
Yep.
what?
All right. If Aygir wants to get himself killed,
All right. It flings 2 chains at you. Okay, one is a miss and one is a critical hit.
Can I
critical
wait?
hit.
Wait, quick thing. Like when Aygir runs towards it, Adriel will say like, "Aygir, are you some kind of idiot or mad fool?"
It's almost destroyed. One more push is all we
you
need.
say that as the chain wraps around your throat.
Exactly.
All right. The chain racker crushes you somewhat for 12 bludgeoning damage. And
That was with the
pulls
critical?
you. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Sorry,
add 6 more to that. So 18 bludgeoning damage.
What are friends?
You're like the kid who reminds the teacher, weren't we supposed to have homework this weekend?
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry, 12 just seems so low.
Damage.
Bludgeoning damage. You are restrained. It pulls you 30 feet, which actually is more than enough to get you up next to it. And that
Can't
is
bear
that.
to see him live like this. I put a bolt on your ear.
Yes, I get. I'm sorry. I don't want you to suffer any longer.
It is
So what we
Adriel's
got?
turn.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to suffer any longer. No, I will steady aim and shoot the creature or the object.
The trap, basically.
Yes, the trap. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no sneak attack. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
I rolled very poorly. 9 for both of my rolls, so probably not.
Blink, blink. One plinks off of the thing and just doesn't penetrate into a vulnerable spot. The other, probably like clinks off of Aygir's armor.
Sorry, Aygir.
Don't run
I knew you
towards
wanted
the
to break
thing.
shots, but to never do it with
Vapor,
that.
Vapor, are you calling down the lightning blast? You're on mute, but I'm assuming you're calling down the lightning blast.
No, not yet. He's going to peek out and see what the hell Aygir just did that everyone's shouting at him for.
Uh-huh.
And then once seeing that, he's going to drop the bolt of light, the call of lightning, just so it's hitting the creature and not Aygir in any way or form. Because it's a 5-foot radius around.
Viper, you're familiar with electricity. You'd say that's kind of like your bloodline, your bread and butter. You know what electricity does?
When it hits metal.
Yes, I know exactly what it does.
All right. Well then, it's nice knowing you, Aygir.
Don't worry, Aygir. I got you. Lightning attack.
14.
All right. Yeah, the lightning comes down, blasts into this like metal contraption, channels through. I'll do half damage to Aygir, so you take 7 lightning. But the good news is that Vapor has just completely blasted this thing to smithereens.
Aygir, next time, don't run after the giant metal contraption.
Adriel, next time don't tell me what to do.
By all means, get
Accrued a half
yourself killed.
milestone by
I'm
this
sure.
point.
Okay. By all means, get yourself killed. I'm sure that your corpse will have much gold and valuables on it.
Look, it worked. What are you still complaining about?
It seems as though Vapor's attacks worked, not yours.
Walykos ignores.
Were you
the
not
bickering
watching?
and walks.
Maybe you
forward.
need to look more clearly next time. We have no more time to
Hey
waste
Vapor,
here.
can you do anything about this cloud?
Unfortunately, I do not have any more spells of at
That's
caliber
fine.
to
We'll
get
come
rid of.
back to it another time.
Yeah, I'll also move. I'll also move in as well.
I want to go check. I
Does
want to
anyone
search
have
the
any
room.
ice cold water?
I have some water.
It wouldn't be chance ice cold. would
I
it?
mean, it'll probably feel ice cold to you.
That's true. Could I have it?
I just give him water.
You can see Vapor has already emptied like 2 different water skins.
I got you. I'm
Can
gonna
you
spend the
chill
time.
it with prestidigitation? I
He
imagine
can.
you could. Yeah.
He could.
Just chill it with your like wave.
Yeah.
your
So
hand
once
over it.
if Walykos hands it over, you see this like almost like a frost growing
Yeah.
on it, and then he chugs half of it and then just dumps the rest
yes.
onto him,
Hell yeah, for sure.
and
I
then
would
he
totally do
he
that.
just goes.
That makes sense. I'm gonna spend the time searching the room while the other two
Yeah.
players snipe each other.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna. I'm gonna
I
spend this
also would
special.
like to
I
investigate.
see
the room
Aygir
as
like
well.
whoa, like
Yeah.
discombobulated, like with the
7
chain still half wrapped around him. Come
7
off of
damage
this, like smoking
is
pile.
not that much for him.
Yeah, I'll also.
In my mind, it was that. It was fun.
Well,
I will also investigate the room as well. Look around.
Did you
Yes.
all hear that you got a half milestone at this point?
I
yes.
did not hear that, but
Yep. You all have
I'm
accrued a
1
half milestone by this
milestone away.
point. And I
One
would like to
milestone away.
say, really nice that you went this way and did not go blindly through the burning cloud,
Oh, yeah.
getting chain racked that way.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been just death. And
Right.
I mean, we would have deserved death in that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Very nice. Very nice.
So, yes, Aygir is going to pay special attention to the dwarven skeletons in the cages, but
Well,
he
I was
will
already
also
investigating that.
Yeah.
I was searching the room.
Well, if you start down there, I'll start up there. And
Yeah. I mean, Adriel is also searching. I assume we're all searching, probably, right?
No, you were bickering with Aygir.
All right. And this way stretches on like so.
Cool.
And I'm going to do a little indication that's
Goes to another map, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just
As Peter Griffin would do, perhaps.
Perhaps. I can't do that voice. All right. Yes, these poor fellows hanging here in cages that dangle from the ceiling by heavy chains. Clearly dwarven skeletons, even some wisps of beard sprouting off of their chins. Condemned, doomed shackles. They must have been festering here for decades.
I mean, at least they were demoisturized by all the heat, so.
Yeah, they clearly long since withered away to nothing but bones. And
I am surprised
vermin
at how
probably ate
well
them
the skeletons are still together.
tens of years ago.
Well,
you could use your imagination and imagine them as like more deteriorated.
I would like to think they're still that well intact. Like the bones are still connected together somehow.
Well, I guess extreme heat would have some kind of preserving effect, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure someone
extreme
will tell
cold
us.
does.
Yeah.
Well, in any case,
yeah, if
you
it dried,
see them there, and
Is there anything of
maybe
value?
they were condemned criminals, maybe they were bastards, maybe they were rotten scoundrels that deserved it, but you don't know that, and all that you can see is just these poor souls that got thrown into these cages and died.
Is
And
there
as you know,
anything of value?
the giants had the dwarves enslaved since time immemorial.
Is there anything of value in the room, Esper, that as we search it?
Nothing immediately seems to be of value.
And by immediately, how long does it take us to determine if there is something?
If you want to spend some time and roll some checks, have
Yes.
at it. By all means.
Yeah, I would gladly look around for a bit.
I mean, we're not in a rush right now. It's not like we're on a timer.
What about Vapor?
Well, Vapor can get as far away from the lava as he can,
Yeah, he's gonna try to find the coolest place he can
coolest spot.
find, and just if the force to.
So Vapor goes about there. There is still some lava ruin bit ahead, but you find the semi-cooler guarded section.
I was talking about the room they were in because he's not going to separate himself from the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Rule number 1: never split the party.
Ha.
yeah,
Not an Esper's game.
we just spent a whole session talking
I was
about why
about to say,
that,
didn't we just split the party like 2 sessions? Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
first time
it was
we've been
awesome.
together in like 2 sessions. Yeah.
He said it tongue in cheek, guys. It was tongue in cheek.
So
All right, so sure, Vapor's there.
Yeah, he's just right there, just like trying to remain cool, constantly using prestidigitation on himself. Just like Frost is there for a second, and gone back.
Maybe use conjuring the little gusts of wind to cool yourself.
Yeah,
Fan
he's
yourself-
doing whatever
fan
he
yourself.
can to cool himself off. Like he's just miserable.
All right, so what do we have on the search checks?
Are these investigation checks?
It could be investigation or perception. I think either one could be fine.
I failed mine, unfortunately.
You failed yours? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You said perception
Anything
or
else?
investigation?
Yeah, sure. Either one's fine.
I will do the unnatural 20 for perception.
One is more senses based, and the other is more
Oh,
trained logic based.
oh, I did. Oh, well, I did perception. I got an unnatural 20.
All right. Aygir has at least a 19, but given the timing, I'm going to spend my inspiration to see if I get any better.
Okay.
I certainly did. Now I have a 21.
Very nice.
Aygir, almost said vapor. Aygir and Adriel. You both find, not in this hanging chains room, but actually up in this upper chamber, some old strong boxes of giant or dwarven craft. The strong boxes, you can get them open. They're I'm not gonna, we're running out of time here, so I'm not gonna bog down on it.
All right.
You'll pry them open.
No need to tell
Adriel
to cover his ears and.
Yeah. There are some items of note within them. You find a spell book, which does have some spells in it, actually. You find some scrolls. You find another one of those obsidian shards.
Yes. All right.
So you have two. You have two now. And Aygir, since you technically rolled higher, 1 point higher, roll a D100.
I call shenanigans.
It's okay. Just because he finds,
but also, if you voted for his inspiration, you can't complain that much.
I don't think I did. I think I voted for someone else. I'm just kidding.
Did you? Okay. All right. No, then you have all the right to complain.
No, I think I did vote for Aygir, actually. That's why I'm even more mad.
Well, it's fine. Just because he finds it doesn't mean that you're not going to be the one who gets it.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
Look, +3 mithril short sword of extra sneak attack stabbing. I'm totally keeping this. Screw you.
All right. I rolled
with rogue. Yeah.
I rolled a 99.
What? What? All right.
Nice.
So you find a nice dwarven cap, a nice leathery dwarven cap that has some tool work on it, some tooling on it, and a nice dwarven rune embossed into it.
Is it magic though?
Vapor, is this magic?
You gotta go find Vapor.
Over here, is this magic? Look at
Vapor
this.
will come over.
I also come over since you're calling. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, what am I looking at?
This hat, is it magical?
All right, I'll detect magic on it. Damn it, I was hoping for a natural one. But no, meta magic, nothing on the meta magic.
All right, well, there's always next time.
Yeah, been great for that.
The detect magic spell detects it's transmutation. It's not a terribly powerful aura, but it is a permanent, it's a kind of a light permanent aura of transmutation magic.
Okay, yeah, there's something magical about it.
The scrolls are magical. I think there's 3 of them. Let me go to my other page. Let me go to my other page.
Your other page with the page inside of the page on the other page.
There it is.
Connected to the other
page inception.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what I've done now. So the spell book has 3 spells in it. And then there are 3 scrolls, one of each of the spells. So those can come in handy in their own ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Looking at the spells. I think they would be on your spell lists, so I'll go over them, and I can send you guys the details as well. The spells are Acid Puddle, Damping Haze, and Electrophorus. And don't go cracking open your players' handbooks because you won't find them in there. They are esoteric spells that one might only find in an emporium of sorts. So I'll send you the details on those.
Okay.
But the general gist is acid puddle. You conjure a puddle of acid, and enemies can step in the acid, and it burns them. Or if you're so inclined, you can just like stick it on an object that you want to dissolve, a non-magical object. And it's like a first level spell. And then damping haze is like a second or third level spell, and it makes this aura that like shuts down a bunch of stuff. It like nothing can have advantage and nothing can score a critical hit, and it does stuff like that. It's like a hindering, inhibiting type area. And then Electrophorus it's a lightning damage. I know that. And it does some other stuff too. There's some other effect on it besides just lightning damage.
Okay.
Actually, I can find it right here. I have my.
And you said that acid puddle actually does work on like non-creatures, because I know that acid splash does not work on non-creatures, but acid puddle does.
I think it does. Acid puddle, acidic slime, 5-foot radius area, creatures, non-magical organic objects also take the damage.
So it works on the organic stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And then Electrophorus, 2. Second level, 1 action, touch, melee spell attack, 2d8 lightning damage, and the target is electrified. An electrified target takes 1d8 lightning damage at the start of its turns, cannot take reactions, and it cannot take both an action and a bonus action on the same turn, only one or the other. They make a con save at the end of each of their turns to throw off the effect. If your initial attack misses, the target gets half damage and is not electrified.
Okay.
And the spell components, the material components for that are either amber and cat fur or glass and silk. Or if you want to be like simplifying it, your arcane focus, of course. But I got recommended those material components by a friend of mine who's a real life artificer and electrical wizard and computer wizard. So that's what you find. This cap, and the scrolls and the spellbook and the obsidian shard. And those are good finds.
Well, Aygir will put all of those in the same pack with the, obvious mention that he's not just laying claim to them all. Although, just to find out, he will put the hat on.
And that's when it bites into your head and like eats
Yeah, it could be.
cursed
A cap
item.
of brain devouring.
But, Aygir is book smart. His flaw is his curiosity.
That's fine. I mean, pretty much, every
no, it does
magic-
not suck your brain out of your ears.
yeah. All magic hats in the game are pretty good most of the time.
No immediate apparent effects, but it must do something. You guys can roll Arcana checks if you want to maybe figure out what that rune is all about.
Adriel will not. He's not very good at the arcane stuff. So
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that's something Adriel would know, but
Yeah.
I was thinking more Aygir and Vapor since they're of the
Try
magic.
teleporting somewhere.
maybe he just turns invisible. Maybe it's a cap of invisibility.
Aygir
Where
has
did Aygir go?
Aygir has a 13 on that.
17 for Vapor.
Vapor, it is a rune of water breathing.
Ooh.
There you go.
Now
That's what
you
the
can
cap
actually
is?
stay down there as long as I can,
This
Aygir.
could have come in very handy not too long ago.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I still think I can last longer than you underwater.
Either way, it's a damn comfortable arming cap. It feels good under my helmet.
Yeah, I
Nah.
actually know. I don't
I don't think anything would feel good under a helmet in this heat.
Yeah, no kidding. So you all are really feeling the heat, and Vapor is even more so feeling the heat.
Let's check out that final tunnel where that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. I think this will be a good
Sort
thing
of
to
leave
do.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go.
Well, as we
tunnel
walk
this
away, I'm gonna look to Walykos and say, I know someone else who could have used the water breathing helmet.
No. No, that would not have helped them at all.
Is there a way in which you all are moving? Does it matter, or are you just gonna just hop?
I think we had it where Walykos and Adriel were in the front. Generally speaking,
I mean,
Actually, it could have helped him if he was not also bleeding out. If the blow was just going into his throat, it would have helped him. Otherwise, it would have not.
what are we talking about?
I have an idea who you.
Matter.
It doesn't matter.
I was about to say,
All right.
like,
So it sounds like you all are staying together as
Yeah.
a group.
Yeah.
With
definitely.
Walykos and Adriel in the front, and just going at a moderate pace forward.
crossbow,
Also,
in hand. Yep.
right before we're doing this, Aygir will have cast Cure Wounds upon himself
Okay.
probably a smart plan.
Yeah. Good call.
to the tune of 10 points of healing.
Very nice.
All right. So you all come into a other section, which is here, and you see it, obviously is a continuation of the lava dungeon, so to say, with the ruining, racking effects to the area, exposing bits of magma. These are stairs going downwards. And then this that I've drawn here is another one of those lifts that are
Ooh,
operated with
interesting.
the obsidian shards.
That's really interesting.
And we're going to pause here with a thing crawling out of the corner.
Cool.
So
Oh boy.
to be continued.
Yep. To be continued.
All right. Another great session, everybody.
Indeed.
Everyone who was following along, commenting, or watching later, thank you so much. Look forward to the next session here in a couple weeks. Farewell.
Indeed. Have fun.
Adios.
Have a good night, everyone.